Okay, great. What should I do now? Well, as you can see here, we are trying to build the backend for our my Amazon. So what I'm going to do here, where is it? I don't know, where's my Excalibur? Excalibur. If you go to Excalibur now, we need first to understand what's going on here. So what's going on here, we will have a different product. Click, 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 click. Voila. So we will have a different product. This is product 1, for example, and product 2, 3, 4, whatever. So we'll have different product like that. Remember, if the user is not admin, he cannot add this product. So voila. And yeah, so as a normal user here, you will not be able to delete or update or do anything for this product here. But what you can do, you will have a button here and you can say add to my basket. And when you click on that, this product here, it will become an item and it will be added to your basket. So currently we need at least 3 modules. The first one, it will be the user. The second one here, it will be my product here. And the third one, it will be my item in the basket. Is the idea clear so far? Yes, no?
Yes.
Great. So let's try to build our backend here. And in order to do so, I'm going to, let's start with the configuration first. I mean, you already know the configuration, but what we're going to do here, we'll try to connect our MongoDB or MongoDB Atlas into to our Node application, our Express application. So how can I do that? Well, I already have all the library, as you know. So you have everything: bcrypt, cookie parser, course, .env, Express, Helmet. Now I'll show you what is Helmet, but simply what Helmet is doing here, it's just an extra layer of protection for your server. I mean, here Helmet is related to another 16 different middleware, and all these middlewares are trying to make your server as secure as possible. Just on Web Token, we know that Mongoose Stripe for our payment. And then on the div dependency, we have something called cross-inf. Now, cross-inf, why do we use it? Well, because of this variable, actually, node underscore inf here. So we need to know what is the current environment we are working on. Is it production? Is it development? So in order to do so, sometime, depending on the operating system, this variable here, it's undefined. And that's not what we want. We want it to be defined. So we can use this library, which is say cross-env. That's the only usage. Then we are saying node inf here. This variable, I want it to be production. Remember, in the production here, we will use a node. So it will be node space index.js. If you remember in render. So render, what it's going to do first, it will install your dependency, and then it will run node space index.js. So the node underscore inf, this variable here, it will be production when we are using it for the production. But for now here, when we use it to development and we are using node moon here, node inf, it will be development. Unlike that, because we are using this library, we are sure that now this variable here is known. It's not undefined. It's either production or development. And depending on that, we can use logger or not. That should be simple. Okay, so let's go click here. What do I need to import? What do I need to import? What do I need to import?
.env.
Yeah, first Mongoose. So I need to import Mongoose, and then I need to import .env. Yes. .env. No, not configure, just .env from .env. And also I will need to import the path and also the file URL to pass. Why? Because now here I will need to use some variable inside my .env. I told you now, if I want to use this variable inside index.js, both of them in the same folder, so it's not a problem, you can find it. But when I try to access .env inside another, now notice here, I'm inside config. So it will assume that .env in the same folder, but it will try to look for it, it cannot find it. So what I can say is, okay, you are looking for .env, but .env here, it's not in this folder. I want you to go out of this folder, then you will find it. And that's important because sometime here, if you don't define this way, so if you don't define the path to .env, you will not be able to grab the environment variable and you will have a problem. So maybe what I can do, actually, I can go to the top a little bit because I prefer to import the building module. So I can just say path, and as you know, their name. So I need path and their name from path, and also I need file URL, URL to path. So these two here, these two modules are built in. That means I don't need to install them because they are part of Node. And that's the reason why I put them first. I make some space, then I have Mangoose and .inf. Of course, Mangoose and .inf, as you know, both of them are packages here, .inf and as you know, Mangoose here. So I make just some space between them like that. Visually, it would be easy for me to see when I read my code and so on. Now here, first step, of course, I need to construct my path. So I need to construct the path. But how can I construct the path? An idea? Any idea how can I construct the path? First, I need to define my __ file.
File name.
So I can simply say const __ file name. And of course, what I can do here, just a file name. Here I can use file URL to pass. So what this function is going to do, or this method, if I pass import.meta.url, it will give me the full path to the current file. But I don't want the full path to the current file. I want the path to this directory. So in order to do so, I can just say const path all caps. That's by convention, as I told you. And here it will be their name here. And I'm saying, give me the directory name of this file. And it will give me this config directory, which is great. Now, all I have to do now, I need to load my environment variable, load environment variable. So how can I do that? Well, I can use .inf.config as well, .inf.config. And remember here in config here, normally I am not passing anything, but in here I need to pass something actually. Why? Because I can use this one to define the path. So I can tell them, okay, my .env, it exists in path.join here, as you can see. So I need to use path.join. Why path.join? Because path.join here, it will add / or / depending on the operating system. But my reality here, it's not .env. If I keep it this way, that means it is inside my inside my folder, but that's not true. I want to go out of this folder, so I can just say ... like that. Voila. Now here I have 3 different variables. So what's happening here, I'm getting the path to this folder here, config. Then I'm saying, okay, now I am inside config, but I want you to go outside of config, and here ... so it will go out of config. Then you will find my .env here. And simply that's it. All I need to do now, I need to create a connection here. And in order to create a connection to DB, I can just create a function. So I can just say const connect to DB. Let's make it both of them like that by convention. Of course, this one, it will be a async function. Can anyone tell me why it will be an async function? Why it will be an async function? Of course, I need to export it because I'm planning to use it somewhere else. Yes. Why is this one it will be a async function?
Because we are going to connect to database. Yes,
so whenever you're trying to connect to database, simply it will take some time. And this operation all the time must be async operation. Because if it's not async operation, you cannot, your server, it will be blocked. You cannot do anything until you make connection to database, and that's not what I want to. So here, what I can use, I can just use simply try and catch. And as you know, in try and catch, I could have an error. And when I have an error, what I can do here, I can just log the error if I want to. So I can just say console .error is an error in case I have an error. If I don't have an error, now I can use Mangoose. I can just say, but I need to use await Mangoose. And when I say Mangoose here, it has a function or method on it called connect. And as you can see here, connect, it takes something called URI, which is a string connection to whatever I'm trying to connect. But now this guy here, which will be the URI, I need to grab it from where? Where I need to grab it? From where I want to grab it?
From .inf.
Yes, so this is my guy here, which will be connection URI. So what I need to do here now, I'm certain now because I provide the path to the .inf, I will not have any problem. All I have to do now is say process .env and then the name of my variable, which will be connection URI. You can pass some option, but we don't need any option for now. And here, of course, if this connection was successful, remember here I am waiting until I establish the connection. That means here, if it's being established correctly, I can just log I can just console.log connected to the database, for example, successfully. Console.log connect to the database successfully. It will be nice. So whenever now I connect successfully to my database, I will see this nice message. If I don't see this message, of course, it will go to the error and it will show me the error, simply like that. And now that's the function we're going to use to connect to our database. Of course, I created here, but I need to use it after that inside my index.js. And that's how we create our DB.js, so connection to our database. Is there any problem here? Any problem? Question,
Maybe you
problem?
can explain what do we have in .env?
Yes, but what we have in .env, as you can see, we have port, we have cross origin. I will show you what cross origin. Token secret, that's for my GWT. Connection URI, so of course, connection URI, that's coming from my MongoDB Atlas. So what I can do here, if I'm using the correct, no, I'm not using the correct one. So let me use my other account. And now here, if I go to MongoDB Atlas like that, and of course I need to log in, as you know. When I log in, I need to now to connect to my cluster here. So as you know, I have one cluster with size 512. So that's my cluster here. I want to connect here, but I need a connection string. So I will click on this one, and here it's telling you, as you can see, do you want to connect to Compass? Well, yeah, I want to connect to Compass, but before now here I am in Node. I'm trying to connect from my Node. So it's telling you access your Atlas using MongoDB native driver Node.js. So if I click on this one here, it will show me, it's telling me that you need Mongoose, and here it give me the connection string, as you can see. I'm gonna grab this, copy this connection string, and remember here, this angle bracket DB password, you need to replace it with your own password. If you don't have a user, you need to create a user, but I'm quite sure you have a user. Also, you can add here after .NET slash, between the forward slash and exclamation mark, you can add your database name if you want to create a new one. If you don't add anything, it will be by default test. And that's simply how it is. So I'm just grabbing this connection. And now if I go to my .env, here, as you can see, I'm grab everything. I replace, of course, that's here as my password. I replace the angle bracket DB password with my password. And here, as you can see here, between .NET slash and question mark, I've added my database, which is called Amazon. Stripe secret key, of course, I told you also when you have an account on Stripe, I think it's also on my other account, but let me check. So I need to look for Stripe. I have Stripe here. Not sure, let me check. So Stripe here, it's just like a service or library, allow you to make a transaction. And of course, I don't think it's in here. Well, voila here. So what do I want to do here? The idea here, when I'm trying to make a payment, I need to look for the API key and the API. So we have two different key actually. We have public key, we'll add it to our front end, and we have secret key, API key, which we want to add it to our backend. So if I search for key, something like that, so it will give me developer API key, as you can see, click. And as you can see here, we have two, so we have two different keys. We have published key, and that will be for our front end. And we have secret key. If I click on it, it will reveal it. And that's the key we need to add whenever we're trying to make a connection to a Stripe here. Is the idea clear? Yes?
Yeah.
Great. So that's a different variable we have in our .env. Cross-origin, I will show you when we are working with index.js. As the rest, everything should be clear. Token secret, I'm using the same. I think this one should be super clear now. We don't have any problem here. All we are doing here, just importing some module in Node. Here is a built-in module, Mongoose and .env. We are defining where our .env is, and that's the reason why we are using pass here. We are passing pass.join pass. So this pass here, it will be to the current directory, which is config. I want to go out of this current directory, and then you will find my .env there. Then here for connection, again, if you want to, you can go to the documentation of Mongoose. Mongoose like that. Let me just do that. And here, if you go Mongoose, npm. So if you go to actually, the documentation is much better than this one. This one is much better. So here, as you can see here, Mangoes show you how to make a connection, as you can see. All you have to do, and of course, I told you it must be an async function because you are trying to connect to our database. Every time you're trying to connect to your database, this operation must be an async operation. Why? Because it will take some time. If you don't handle it asynchronously, your server, it will be blocked. It will not be able to handle anything. It's just like your website in the front is being freezed. That's not a good practice. So that's the reason why I'm doing it in async function. So I will just say await mangoes.connect, and I need to pass the URI here. This URI could be local or could be I can grab it from my MongoDB Atlas to the cloud. And simply like that, that's it. That's nothing big. Okay, that's the first one here. I've made my connection to DB. Now let's work a little bit in our util function. Some of these util function we were gonna need. Actually, all of them we're gonna need them. So it's a good idea to choose. So capitalize. What is capitalize? Well, capitalize sometime I will need to capitalize some stuff. For example, the username, because I'm showing the username, it's always a great idea to capitalize username. And maybe I need to use it in multiple places. So it's always a good idea now to create a function. So I can just say const capitalize, if it must be exactly the same. Capitalize, is it the same? Yes, it should be the same. Of course, now what I'm going to do, I need to export this function here like that. So how can I capitalize anything here? Well, I will take, so it's capitalize means that the first letter need to be uppercase. So what I can do here, well, simply I can just return. Now what I need to do here, I need to access the first character. How can I access the first character? Well, I will take my string str dot char at. So char at here, it will give me the first character. Why? Because if I will say char at and I'm passing zeros as the index, it will give me the first one. Okay, that's the first one. What do I want to do with the first letter here? Well, I need to capitalize it. So in order to do that in JavaScript, I need to use two uppercases, two uppercase like that. And here, what I'm going to do here, I'm selecting the first character. Then as you can see, the first character char at 0 is as the index. So it will give me the first character, whatever I am passing. First character, then it will make it uppercase. Now what I'm doing here, I'm taking my string and I'm removing the first character. So the first character, now I don't care about it if it's lowercase or uppercase. Why? Because I already replaced it here, as you can see. So I'm taking the first character, I'm making it uppercase, and here I'm removing the first character from the string. I don't need it here because now I have this first character, I access it and I make it uppercase. Is it clear, or you want to show an example? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear, but you can show example. Yep.
Yeah. No, why not? So if I take, for example, name, any string I want to, let's say Jack. If it's uppercase or lowercase, I don't care. Jack, like that, that's my string, dot. If I say char at, so we have a function here in string, which is called dot char. Why I don't have any stuff here? Jack or whatever. I need to close it, and then here dot. It doesn't give me a suggestion, which is really strange, but it should be char at. And now here, if I say char at 0, it should give me the first character. But here it's not working. Jack,
it should be one R. You put two R's.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Now, as you can see here, if I say char at 0, it will give me it will return a character. So char means character. At 0, that means at index 0, it will give me G. If I pass 1, it will give me A. If I pass 2, it will give me C. 3 is like that. So which character I want? Well, I want the first character. That's why I pass 0. Now, why do I want to do with this first character? I wanted to make it uppercase. So I can just say 2 uppercase. And as you know, 2 uppercase, it's just a function in JavaScript. Well, as you can see, function in JavaScript, it will just make it uppercase. Now, what did I do here? Well, I took the first character and I make it uppercase. Now, what do I want to do in my string? I don't need this one anymore because why? I just took the first one and make it capitalized. So I need to get rid of it. But how can I get rid of it? Well, I can just say string.slice. And slice here just means cut the string. I don't want this slice. String.slice 1, that means I want you to start from index 1. So 0 is gone and here. So let me show you everything here. together. So I can just say Jack again. Jack, notice it's lowercase. And here I can say char at, right? Char at, and here I want char at 0. And char at 0, of course, it will give me a J. And now here I wanted to make it uppercase, so 2 uppercase. And if I make it 2 uppercase, as you can see, it will give me J. Now, what do I want to do here? Well, now I want to remove somehow the first character. So how can I do that? Well, I can actually, this should be saved in a variable. So it will not show me what I want. So I need to save it in a variable. Let's save it in a variable so I can just say const Jack is equal to my string Jack, like that. Voila. And now here, because I have Jack, I can just take this function. Remember, I already have Jack as this is Jack here. It will be my string, huh? I will add this one. Now notice what will happen. Then I want to remove the first character because I've already make it uppercase. So I can take my Jack here, dot, and here I can use slice. And what slice is doing here, it will just return me part of the string. And here I'm telling slice, I want you to start from index 1. And if I do so, where is it?
You have 2 dots at the beginning.
I have. So let me get rid of this one. Voila. That should be okay. And as you can see here, notice, so the first part of the code, I'm making the first character uppercase. The second one, I am not taking the first character. So I'm saying, I want you to give me the string, but I don't want you to give me, I want you to start from index 1. So it will be A-C-K, that's it. And of course, the first character, I am grabbing it and I'm making it uppercase. So the result, as you can see, it will be J. And that's what I want. Clear? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be simple. Hash password. So hash password also should be simple. I did not create it. All you have to do, you need to go to bcrypt, and in bcrypt, it will show you how to hash the password. Now, you can hash the password synchronously or asynchronously. In my example, I make it synchronously. Why? Because I want to wait for the password to be hashed before I create a user, just to make sure that the password is being hashed. You can use it asynchronously if you want to, but I prefer to use it synchronously. Just this one hash password. So I can now, first I need to import what? I need to import B. Yes.
Crypt.
Bcrypt from bcrypt is not bcrypt.js, it's just bcrypt like that. And I don't think bcrypt here it's correct. So let me correct it. That should be good. So I'm importing bcrypt from bcrypt, and that's all I need. Now I can just say const hash password. Remember, I'm trying to make all of them the same name, so I don't have any problem. So hash password here, as I told you, I can use it synchronously or asynchronously. I don't want it to do it asynchronously. I want to do it synchronously, and now I need to export it, of course. Voila. So how can I do it synchronously? Well, to do that, I need to calculate something called salt. So salt is how many times this combination, I'm repeating the string when I'm trying to hash it. So if salt, this number is high, I will have a very complicated hash password. That's good. But the problem is if the hash is very high number, it will be secure, yes, but it will consume or it will take more time. So my code, it will be slower. So best practice actually in the library, if you go to the library, it will give you number 10 here. So I just can say bcrypt.generate salt string, and I can pass the number 10. So that's the default one. You can make it bigger, but if you make it bigger, it will be more sophisticated, better for security, but it will not be good for performance. So let's go as the middle where it is performance and also it's secure. Now, all I need to do now, I need to return here, as you can see, bcrypt.hash sync. And then here I need to pass the password and the salt here. And now here, of course, this guy here, it will be my hash password. I don't need this variable. I don't need to save it in variable. I just need to return it. That's it. Because there's no point here. I just want to return this guy here, which is the hash password. Again, if we go to the documentation, it will show you that. I did not bring it from just like that. So if you go to the documentation, in the documentation, it will show you how to do it. Click. And that's how we generate salt. Yeah. Compare, it show you how to compare. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, as you can see, const salt, it's equal to bcrypt.generate salt sync. And here's this value. Normally it's 10. If you go to the library, if you study it, it's the value is passing is 10. And after that, I need to, that's the hash password. That's what I want to. So bcrypt.hash thing. And then I need to pass my password and then the salt here. And that's simply how it is. And now, as you can see, salt normally here it's 10, as you can see. So yeah, that's how we hash password simply, synchronously. I didn't bring it from anywhere. I just bring it from the libraries. That's it. Match password. So what does match password do? Well, in match password, I will have two passwords. I will have password and repassword. And my job, it will be to compare both of them to see if they are, how can I say, if they are match or not. So if they are match, that's great. If they are not match, then I will just return false. But how can I do that? Well, let's create our function here. So const, I name it match passwords, if I'm not mistaken, passwords like that. And now here it will take password. Remember, the order does matter. When you use it, you need to pass first the password, then confirm password. Although if they are the same, there is no problem here. Let's just export this function. Match passwords. Okay, great. So what will be is what do I need to return? Well, either true or false. So I can just return just like that. Password strictly equal to confirm password. Now, if the password and confirm password is strictly equal, it will return true because this value here, it will be true because they are the same value. So here it will return true. If these are not the same, it will return false, and that's what I want. Clear?
Yes.
Great. Validate email. Now, to validate email, I need to use some regular expression. Of course, regular expression, they are very useful. This help us to find a specific pattern with strings. So we use regular expression most of the time with strings. And as you know, my email, it will be a string. So it will be a great idea to use regular expression. If I don't use regular expression, my function will be very long and it will be actually very, yeah. So using a regular expression, it will save me a lot of time. So I can just say validate email if it's correct like that, and voila. Now here, I already have the regular expression. So voila, that's my regular expression. I'm gonna just copy it. What I can do here, that's my regular expression. Now I need to save it in a variable, of course, so I can just say const. So convention, we name it pattern. But you can name it whatever you want, it doesn't matter. So what do I need to do? Well, I want my my email to include A to Z, so it will be lowercase a to Z. And here also I may have a number, and I need to include dot something here. And yeah, so it could include actually dot. Also, it can include A to Z. Also, it could include number. So what's this regular expression here? It says that simply, my email must include at. That's first. And before the at here, it could be either character, it could be either number. It doesn't matter. After this one here, also I will have after the it must be, now here as you can see here, it must be a character, so it cannot be a number at Gmail or something. So that's what I'm saying. And here after that, I will have also from A to Z. So as you can see, we could have a value between 2 and 63. So my email could just to take two characters. So for example, GA at Gmail up to 63. And here I make it insensitive case. That's mean uppercase or lowercase is not important. So now how can I test my email? Super simple. All I have to do, I need to just say return. And now here I can take pattern dot test. So if I take my regular expression and I say dot, it's an object, by the way. So see, I have execute, I have test, I have a lot of stuff. What I need to do, I need to test my email now. Here, if this email here pass this pattern, so it's according to this pattern is good enough, it will return me true. Also, it will return me false. Actually, we can just even try to do this stuff here. For example, I can just say Jack. As you can see, it's been highlighted. It's not good. Why? Because simply that could not really be an email. So gmail.com, and see, it's been highlighted. Highlighted, that mean it is been, yes, it's been past this condition. But for example, let's remove the dot here. If I remove the dot here, see, it's not highlighted, so it will not pass the condition. This text regular expression, it's just an extension in VS Code, I think. Regis Regular expression. Yeah, here, this one here, I think I'm using, which is called regular expression preview. So what this one is doing here, it will help you to find if specific string is following this pattern or not. As you can see, if I do it this way, it will not work because I need dot, as you can see here. And here I can, of course, have any number I want to. I can have whatever I want to. Try again, Jack at gmail.com. That should be okay if I'm not mistaken. Voila. But anyway, so what is this function is doing here? Simply what this function is doing here, I have specific pattern. And of course, you have the pattern already. So it's not something new. You have this pattern here. And what I need to do, I need to test my email against this pattern. So I just say pattern dot test, and I'm passing my email. It will return either true or false, and that's really what I want to. Should be clear, right? Yes.
And with the regular expression, there are some websites where we can check.
Yes.
Or how did you find it? Google it just, or
you can Google it, but there is also a website. So regular religious expression. I think this does something like so. You can go to this website. This website is very famous, and as you can see here, you can write your regular expression here, and then write something here. Actually, let me take my regular expression. We use this website actually a lot. Let me copy this one. Let me just get rid of all of that. I don't need it. It will just ask me to add my stuff. So I'm adding my stuff here, as you can see. And now here, of course, what I can do here, I can just say Jack at gmail.com. As you can see, it's been highlighted here. So as you can see, yeah, it's ranged between 0 to 13. It's the range here between 263 has been highlighted. Also here, this website, it gives you some explanation what everything is mean, what A to Z mean, what everything is mean. So I'm going to send you this website if you are interested more in regular expression. It's very useful when you are dealing with strings. You can Google them. Now, I must admit, like regular expression is not the easiest thing to learn. Even though I sometimes make a mistake when I write my own. But the idea here is quite useful. And regular expression, we cannot just use it with JavaScript only. We can use it with JavaScript. You can use it Python, with Java, with whatever you want. So they're quite useful to test string. Okay, you have the website now. So let's go here. We validate the email, which is quite nice. Now what we need to do, we need to validate the password. So to validate the password here, also I need a function. So const validate password, validate password like that. And also I will need a regular expression. I mean, that's not something biggie. So regular expression also, we have it already, and I can just copy it and I go to the website just to test it. Clicky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this regular expression. I can add this one. So what is this one here? String. Yeah, it's okay. I'm adding two of them. So let me remove this one. Also, I'm adding one extra here. So let me remove this one. That should be good. Of course, now here, what it need really, I need so I will need one number, one letter up. So if I say user, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's still not highlighted, exclamation mark, it should be highlighted actually, unless I have a problem here. No, this one here, this caret should be at the beginning. So positive look ahead. It need to include a special character. I'm including special character. So let me include this one. Well, that should work actually, if my regular expression is correct. So let's try to test it again. Let me delete this one. And yeah, let's try it. It look like user 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation. As you can see now, user 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation mark. So what's going to do here? The links, it will be minimum 6, so it will be between 6. So match, it will be 6 to 16, as you can see. That's first, and second here, I need to have one character which is uppercase, and that's what I'm starting here, as you can see. Other character could be lowercase, that's fine, and I could have a number, as you can see. So that's what this regular expression simply is doing here. So here we need to have one special character, either exclamation mark, at, hash, one of those. And also I need to have at least, as you can see, one uppercase, as you can see, and I need to have at least one number here. So I need to have a digit number. And so that's it. Again, I'm going to give this one to you. And if you are interested more, you can again go to the website and try to test it. So I have my regular expression, and I'm going to just, of course, save it in a variable, as you can see. So pattern, it's equal to my regular expression all the time start with /. Now I need to test it. How can I test it? Well, it's quite simple. All I have to do is just return pattern.test password. Either it will return true or false, simply like that. Yes? Yes, no?
Yes.
Great. Let me check my internet connection to make sure it's working for. Well, as you can see, that's the difference here. So it's like 318. With Proximus, it was just not even 90 something, not even 100. That was great. Okay. I've finished this one now. I need to validate the username. Well, the username here, validation, also I can use simply a regular expression. And yeah, so let's just say const validate username, validate user name is lowercase, so I will just keep it this way. And I just need to export it. No, export default. You don't have to remember the regular expression because we are just copy pasting them. But I mean, it's a good idea actually to know how they are doing. So that's my current regular expression. What do I want from this regular expression? Well, I wanted, as you can see, I wanted to accept numbers between 0 to 9 and character or letter, either uppercase or lowercase, as you can see. And the minimum accepted is 3. So if the username is less than 3, it will not be accepted. And here I can just test it. Voila, simply like that. And if you want to test it more, of course, you can copy it, go to this website, get rid of this one, try to add your code. And now here, if I want to define any username, so if I say Sa, it will not work. But if I say M, so as you can see, Sam is working. Why? Because its minimum requires 3 characters, as you can see, and they could be any upper or lowercase letter, it's fine. And the number between 0 and 9, so I can just say 1, 2, 3, that's fine, as you can see. But if I say, for example, Sam, exclamation mark, something, it will not be accepted. Why? Because I am not allowed to have a special character, as you can see. Should be clear. So now my util function, all of them are finished. I finished all my util function, which is great. I will need to use them, of course. That's okay. I need to go to my middleware as well. I need to finish my middleware. Now, util function and middleware, normally we create them once and then use them all the time. It's not something we build every day. So we build this function here. For example, capitalize. I have one util function, and whenever me or my colleague need to capitalize something, they can use the same function. And that's the idea of a util function. Yeah, for the middleware, it's also the same idea. No middleware, we don't create every day a middleware. For example, verify token, we create it once and then we use it most of the time. I'll start with the logger here. And the logger, actually, it's a little bit long. So yeah, let's just go to logger. So what's the idea of the logger? The idea of the logger, when I am in development environment, not production, I've allow you in the first time you deploy to render, I allow you to push logger. So because if I explain it, it will be a bit difficult for you. But what you need to understand, this logger here, it's not for production. It's only for development. We use it. We need it as a developer. We don't need it on production. As a reason. Why? Because it will help me to see how many requests is coming to my server, and I will have a record to know who is making requests and so on and so on. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to be able to, whenever there is a request, I want to be able to access the request to get some information like the method, the URL, the current date, which date is being, so which time, which day. And after that, I need to write it to a specific file here, which will be inside logs folder, and we name it log.txt. You can name it whatever you want, of course. And here, that means I need to write to a file. And as we learned here in Node, when we are trying to write to a file, which module do I need? Which built-in module do I need? What's the module we need to write to a file? Yes. FS file system. You forgot? Import FS from FS. So I will need that. Of course, I'll need again the path and the file URL. Why? Because here, when I'm trying to write to any file, I need to pass the absolute path to the specific file. So I need to import path. Also, I need to import something else. What it is? Their name from path. I need to import file URL from URL. And here I'm using a small library which is called Chalk. So Chalk is really not doing anything. What it's going to do here is just here in your terminal, you have something color. So you have something blue, something stuff like that. So we use Chalk for coloring. That's it. It's just like for visual stuff. And here, of course, Chalk here, it's not built-in module. I need to install it. So that's why I make some space and I say import Chalk, as you can see from Chalk. Well, that's fine. And now I need to construct my path. So how can I construct my path? Should be simple now. Construct path. Well, what I can do here, because always I'm constructing the path, as you can see, I can just copy this one here because it will be the same. Remember now, the path here in this file, it will be different if we are using it in another file. Why? Because simply now, this path here, it will be the path to this directory, middleware. Whereas this one here is the path to this directory. So it differs where you are using it. So I'm using it here now. What do I want to do? Well, I need now to create the full path to the file I want to write. And where is my file? That's my file here. It will be log.txt. So what I can do here, I can just say const file path. And file path here, I can just use path.join. And we're using join Y because simply depending on the operating system, it will add forward slash or backward slash. So here, path.join, I'm saying the path to the current folder, which is middleware. And now I want to go out, right? Because I want to go to logs. So I want to go out. So actually, that's not correct. First, I need to go out. So I need to say dot to go out one directory. Then I want you to go inside a folder called logs. And then inside the logs, you will find something called log.txt, log.txt. And that should be okay if I add comma here. Well, so I've constructed my path. What I'm saying here, well, here it will be passed to my current directory, which is middleware. I want you to go out, and I'm going out. Then I want you to go inside logs, and that's my logs. Then I want you inside the logs, you will find a file, txt file, which is called log.txt. And that's simply like that. Now I can create my simple function, which will be, let's name it logger. That's convention also, we just name it logger. Of course, you can name it whatever you want to. Of course, for this logger, we will have 3 parameters at least. So it will be request, response, and next. Can anyone tell me why do we have next here? I'm gonna export it directly, of course. Why do I have next here?
Because it's middleware.
Exactly. So any middleware, it will have something called next. I will need to, whenever I make sure, so middleware, the idea of middleware is to try to do something. And after I do something, when I'm happy with it, I need to use function next. If I don't use next, my request, it will be stopped here in the middleware and it will not go to the route. And that's not what I want to. So here, what do I want to grab from? So I have my request. What do I want to grab from the request? Well, I want to grab the method. So is it post? Is it delete? Is it put? Is it whatever? Is it delete, for example, or is it get? And the URL is it will be, for example, forward slash, for example, slash product slash ID or something like that. So I need these both, so I can just say const. And of course, I can grab both of them from request dot, sorry. So I can grab both of them from the request. So I can just have method, as you can see, and URL. It will be inside the request. Because I told you from the first class that request and response, both of them are an object. A request is very big object, include a lot of property, including the method and the URL. Now here I need to calculate the date. Somehow I need to create a new date. And because I want to calculate the year, the day, the month, the day, and also the hours, the minute, and the second. Why? Because each time I'm trying to save any request, I will need the method, I will need the URL, also I will need the date. So how can I create a date object? It's quite simple. I can just say const now or whatever you want to name it. It's equal to new date, as you can see. Now, of course, I will need year. I don't want that. I want year. So const year like that. Well, here it will be now get full year. And of course, if you are not sure about that, you can just go also to the documentation. So I'll leave this one. You already have this one. You already have this one. You already have this one. I don't need that as well. So I can just say date in JavaScript. And if you go to MDN like that, so as you can see here, we have a lot of functions with the date here. So we have get date, get day, get full year, get hour, get second. And if you click on any of them, it will explain what each function is returning here. So this date object is very useful in JavaScript. As you can see, we already have a date object, and it's a class. So as you can see, it's a class. So when you say new date, it's create an instant object, and of course now here, if you can look now, if you want to you will have a lot of method. One of them, if I want to get full year, I just say get full year, and that's a method. It will give me the year. Of course, I want the month, and here it will give me get month. Remember get month, why I'm plussing it with 1? Can anyone tell me why I'm plussing get month with 1 plus 1?
It started from 0.
So indeed. So what's happening here, when I say get month, it will give me the index. It will not give me, so it will give me an index of the month. And the index, as you know, starts from 0. So we'll have from 0 to 11. 0, it will be January, and 11, it will be December. But in reality here, I don't want the index. I want the number of the month. So is it, for example, 5, which will be May. Currently, we are in November, and November, it will be 11. I want the number. I don't want the index. And that's why I'm passing it with Y. Again, you can go back to the documentation to see more information. Now, to get the day here, I need to use this function, which is called get date. I know it's strange. We have another function which is called get day. This function is not correct. Why? Because what this function is going to do here, it will return you the index as well. And this index, it will be between 0 and 6, where Sunday is 0 and Saturday is 6. So this function, it will return you here the index. I don't want the index. I want the day. I don't want the index. So you need to be careful with this one here. A little bit confusing here. Get day, it doesn't give you the day really. It will give you the index. That's why if I say get date, if I do the get date here, it will give me the current number here, which will be, for example, today we are 12, it will give me this number. So the day in a month. Okay, fine. I got my day. Now what I need to do here, actually, for the day, I need to use let. For the month, I need to use let, and we'll see why let not const. For the year, it's fine. It doesn't matter really. Now I need to also to calculate not a month, so I can just also you say let. I need to calculate the hour. An hour is simple. Also minutes, it's simple as well. And second is simple. So all of them, get hour, get minute, get second. Now the idea with month, day, hour, minute, second here, if the month is less than 10, normally we should add 0 before it. And that's the reason why I use let. There's the same idea. If it's less than 10, I should use 0 before it. Hour is the same idea, minute and second is the same idea. And now here I can make like ternary operator. So what I can do, well, I can just say months. It's equal to months, as you can see. So that's my condition. Notice I'm checking. If the month is less than 10, then it will give me this value. It will take the first value and it will be adding 0 to the month and then assigning it to the month. And of course, we cannot reassign if we are using const. So that's the reason why I use let. Is this ternary operators clear? Yes or no? It's the same for days. So months, days, and also I need hours. Also, I need minutes. Also, I need seconds. So it's the same concept, all of them. Is this one clear, guys, or not? Yes?
Yes.
No. So it's just a condition here, as you can see. So what's happening in programming all the time, we evaluate the right side here before the left side, before the assignment. So that's my condition. Is month is less than 10. So it will be either true or false. And as you know, ternary operator here, if it's true, it will take this one as 0. If it's false, it will take me the same month, and I'm reassigning it to the month. And that's what I want to. Now, I want to be able to log, so I can declare a variable here, just const time. And time here, of course, it will give me the format here, as you can see, it will be year. And here I'm using dash month, dash day, space, hour, minute, second. So I need this time here. Also, I need a log message. So I cannot use this one. I want to use log message, which will be a log message in my So I will save this one in my log here. Where is it? In my log.txt. But I want another message where I can use chalk. I mean, I'm importing chalk to show some colors. So I cannot use chalk to store it here in log.txt. So this time here, it will be saved to my txt. But now I can create also a new message. And this message, it will be for my terminal. So I can just say, I name it log, for example, log message or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Let's just name it log message. A log message, of course, it will be a little bit different. Why? Because now here I can use chalk to make it a little bit more nicer. So I can use backtick here. And here in backtick, and now what I can do, I can just say $sign like that. And $sign here, now I can use my chalk. So I can say chalk. And if I say dot, so here, as you can see, I have blue. I can choose any color I want to. I'm just going to do the same here. I'm going to choose these guys. So here, chalk.blue, it will make the time blue. And here, what I want also, I want the method here to be green. And I want that the URL, for example, to be yellow. But again, it's really up to you what color you want to use. It's totally up to you. I don't really need a new line here. But what I want to do here, I want to make some nice space like that here. And here, it's just for visual thing. It's not really something it's gonna affect. It's just for visual thing. Voila. So that's my log message. And now all I need to do here, I need to log my message here. Log to the console, of course. So I can just say console .log message. And here, yeah, I can now simply what I can do. So I have my message here. I know I'm constructing my time here actually for this one. Okay, let's create our message. And now what do I want to save? Sorry, this one here is not to save it in txt here. This one here is just the time to make it a color here, as you can see, to add it here. And the method, it will be green, and URL, it will be yellow. Now, what do I want to do? I want to create a message to save it to my txt file. So I can just name it, for example, only message, const message. I am allowed to use message. And here I just need the time, as you can see, method and URL, just like that. Remember now, I am not using chalk here. And because I'm not using chalk, I can easily now save it to my file. How can I save it? Let me just grab this one, cut it, and let me put it here because it's a log. And now I just need to save this message into my file system. Of course, because I'm using fs, I can just say fs dot append file. And why I'm using append file, not read or write? Can anyone tell me why I'm using append? Why I'm not using write? Yes. Because if I use write each time when I'm trying to add a new request here, it will remove the old one and it will just add one. That's not what I want to. I want to add all of them. I want to keep all of them. And that's the reason why I'm using append. Of course, now append requires a file path, which I already have. So that's a full path to my txt. And now here, what do I need? I need to pass the message which I'm trying to append. And here I will have an error only. If something goes wrong, I will have a callback function for error. And of course, if I have an error, I can just console.log the error, simply like that. Or maybe console.error, it will be even better. Why? Because it gives me more information, simply like that. And now I forgot something super important. If I try now to test this logger, it will not work because I forgot something very important. After I finish all my job here, what should I do?
Next.
Exactly. So I need to use next. If I don't use next, my request, it will be stopped here in this middleware and it will not go to the route. And that's not what I want. That's something really bad. Unless, of course, I'm checking something and I found that the user is not allowed or something like that. If that's the case, I shouldn't allow the user to pass. I should send a response to the user, tell him that, for example, you are not authorized or so on. But here, I'm not trying to authorize anything. I'm just trying to grab the method, the URL. I'm trying to create a date. And here, I'm trying just to construct a time and then just log some message to the console and then another message to my file, which will be log.txt. That's logger. Verify token. So verify token, as you know, why we are using it? Well, we are using verify token to make sure that the user, when he whenever the user try to do anything, he will send a request to the backend, as you know, and I need to make sure that this user is logged in. So if he has token and the token is valid, that means he's logged in. But if he has a token is not valid, for example, yeah, it may expired, or maybe he doesn't have a token, I should not allow him. Is the idea clear? So what do I need to do here? Well, I can now create my function, which will be verify token, verify token. It's a middleware as well, so I will have a request response, and next I need to export it using ES6, so exp, voila. And now when I'm trying to verify token, I need to library. Which library is responsible for the token? GWT. So whenever I'm trying to verify the token, well, which library did I use to create the token? Well, it was GWT, which means that I can now use the same library to verify my token. I'm going to finish my verify token and check user, and after that, we can take a break. Okay, but now what should I do? Well, first I need to grab the token, but how can I grab the token? Well, the token here, it will be in the request.cookies, because as you know now, when I build my backend here, when I create the token, I will save the token as cookies. And you may tell me why as cookies? Because simply the cookies here, I can define my cookie as a more secure way. So as you can see here, I can make my cookie HTTP only true here. And if I make it HTTP only true, no one will be able to access it in the front end. So any script here will not be able to do it. And each time the user sends the request, this cookie is being automatically added to the request. Unlike that, simply I can just grab it and try to check if it's correct or not. So what should I do here? Well, I can just say const. I can now structure token. And here it will be request.cookie. Remember, this cookies here, it's an object. And inside this object, I will have a property called token. And also remember now is that when I save the token here, I will save it as a cookie. That means I need a key and value. And the key must be the same here. It must be token. If it's not the same, then it was this one, it will not be correct. You need to put that in mind. Well, and now what if I don't have token? What should I do? What if I don't have token? What should I do?
Send a message.
Yeah, I will send a response and telling the user, for example, you are not authorized. So here, if I say if no token, well, in this case, what I can do here, I can just send a response, and it's 401. And here I can just JSON message, it will be unauthorized. And let me add title here, message title, unauthorized. And now here I can add a message as well. Remember, I'm sending JSON. So you are not authorized. For example, I'm going to just save. Voila. That should be good. Voila. So if there's no token, I'm returning. As you can see, return is important library because it will not go to my other code. So I'm returning status of 401. JSON here, title unauthorized, message you are not authorized to access this page. Now, if I get to this point, that's mean actually what's happening here is that I have the token. Why? Because if I don't have the token, I will go here and return. Return mean I will exit my function and send a response to the user. That's finished. But if I get these ones, that means I have token. Now I need to validate the token to see if it's correct or not. Well, in order to do so, I can use gwt.verify. And now we can go to the documentation, of course, to this verify. And here, what this verify is doing, well, it's taking few parameters. The first parameter, it will be my token. That was the user token, actually. Token here, this user token. And the second one here, it will be the secret token, which will be inside .env. So this is token secret here. Again, now I'll show you that's how the library work. So if I go to here, and now I need to access this guy, I can just say process .env as you can see, it's giving me token secret, and I want token secret. And here, of course, I will have now callback function. This callback function has two parameters. The first parameter, it will be error, and the second parameter, it will be my data. We will not use data for now, but when we are validating the user, we will use data. But anyway, what's important for me now, if I have an error, that means the token is not valid, simply like that. So what I can do, okay, just say if error, then what do I need to do? Well, what I can do here, I can return status 403. And I say, for example, forbidden, you are not allowed to access this page or stuff like that, or the token is not valid, whatever message you want. And of course, now here, if, notice I'm saying if there is an error, I am returning. But if there is no error, what should I do here? If there is no error, what should I do? So if I have an error, I'm just returning status 403. If there is no error, that means the token is valid. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
Just next.
Yes, because the token is valid, so I need to execute next. So the request go to the other route. Voila. As I see verify token here, it's quite simple actually. So verify token, as you can see, just a middleware request response next. I'm checking if there is token cookie here and object. That's why I can destructure it and use token here. And now when I save my token in the cookie, the key must be token. It must be exactly the same. If there is no token, well, I'm sending a response for a 1. I need to verify, so gwt.verify. And if you don't remember how to use it, it's quite simple. All you have to do just gwt verify, and if you go to in here or in here, it doesn't really matter. Sign when we create our token, but now here I want to verify. So go down. Well, as you can see, gwt verify to accept the token. This one, it will be the secret key or the token key, and then I will have a callback function. Error decoded. Decode is as the user data. I don't want to use them for now. It's not necessary for me. But what's important for me, if I have an error, I need to send a response to the user telling him, for example, a token is not valid and stuff like that, whatever you want. Okay, but if there is no error, it will go to next, and that's what I want to. Voila. Should be nice now. Click. Now for the check user, it's very similar to verify token. So what I need to do here, I need to import GWT as well. Import GWT from JSON Web Token. And now here I need to say const. What do we name it? Check user. So it will be request, response, and next. And now I need to export it as a default. Well, what should I do now? Well, it's the same idea. I need just to grab the token. Const token. Remember, the token is coming from request.cookies, which is an object. Well, if I don't have token, I will add the same message exactly. So if I go here, what if I don't have token? What should I do? Same idea. Even this one, same idea. So I'm just gonna copy this one. Voila. I'll go here, and if I don't have tokens, that should be fine. But if I got to this point, that means I have token. Now I need to validate it. How can I validate it? Well, same idea here, as you can see. So I can just grab this one, copy it, go to check user, and add it here. Now I have some stuff here. So as you can see, JSON GWT verify token process.env token secret. I have error and data. If I have an error, I'm doing data. But now the problem is the data. What are the data? So the data here, when I create my token, as I told you, the first parameter here, which is called payload, it will be an object. And inside this object, normally we have user object. So normally we have inside it a user object. So if I have a user object, that means I can access the user rule. And if the user rule, I can check if it's admin or not. So if it's admin, I will allow him to do whatever he wants. If he's not admin, I will say you are not allowed. So how can I do that? Well, it's quite simple. I would just go here and I just say if. Notice if data dot user. That means if I have user object and data dot user dot rule is admin, just like that. If it's admin, then I will allow him to do whatever he wants. If not, then I can do something else. But now what I want to do here, I will make it if it's not admin. If it's not admin, what should I do if it's not admin? I should send a response for 03 and tell him it's forbidden or stuff like that. Voila, exactly. But if I can just now here add else, but and I can execute next. But if So if here data.user, of course, I'm checking if there is user object inside the data. Also, I'm checking if there is a rule inside the user object. And if this rule is not admin, then I'm sending a response 403 and telling me forbidden, you are not allowed to access this page, or sorry, you are not admin, whatever, you are not admin. So it will be better to just say you are not admin. You are not admin. But what if I am an admin? Well, if he's admin, I would just allow him to go to the next route, simply like that. And that's simply what we call check user. So check user here, what I'm doing here in user, I'm checking if the user is simply admin or not. Well, I'm checking first. I need to check if you have token. When it has token, I will have my data. Remember, the data is an object. And inside this object, most of the time, it depends how we create our token. But now I need to create it. I need to pass the user object inside this data. And here, of course, I'm checking if there is an error and I'm handling it. But if I have data.user and data.user.rule, and you may tell me why I'm doing this way. And here I'm checking if the rule is not admin. If it's not admin, that means it's not allowed. So I'm sending here. But if it's admin, then I'm allowing next. Can anyone tell me why I'm doing this one? Why I'm saying data.users and data.user.rule? Yes.
Is it not enough to send to write the data user role?
No, because why? Because if I say data.user.rule, let's say for some reason, if I don't have user object, so if I don't have the user object, this one, it will be undefined. And if I say dot rule, it will throw an error directly. Why? Because I'm trying to access a property on undefined. And as you know, undefined has no property. So the idea here, I cannot just use this one here. Why? Because I am not sure if I have user or not. And that's the reason why I'm using the first one. So if I say data user, so I'm saying here, if I have data.user, that means if I have a user object inside data. And of course, if I have user object, now I will have a rule here. I'm saying if data.user.rule, if it's equal to admin. And like that, it will never throw an error. Why? Because it will check if I have a user object inside the data. And if I don't have here, it will be falsy. And because I'm using and, if the first one is falsy, it will not check the second one. So it will never check this one. Why? Because with and, both sides must be true. So checking if data.user. So if there is an object user, then it will go here and it will check inside the user if it has a rule, and this rule is not an admin. If it's not an admin, it will do that. Else it will do next. Is the idea clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Good.
some on the line. Yeah.
Yes.
It's double verification.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can say.
Yes,
so it's like double verification.
Yes. So the idea here, notice when I say data dot user, I'm not sure if there is a user here. So I'm not 100% sure that there is a user object inside data. So what I'm saying here, it's like I'm saying if data.user, so if this one is true, that means if I have a user object inside data, then it will go to the second one and try to check if data.user.rule is admin. Because if I just remove this part here, it will try to access directly data.user.rule. But what if I don't have user inside data? Well, if I don't have, then it will be data.undefined or null, because it will be an object, data.null, and then say null.something, and null.something is not allowed. So here I will have an error. And so I'm using this one here to make sure that I will not encounter any error. Is the idea. You can use if block if you want to. So you can say if data.user, and then inside it you can say then if data.user.rule. But I don't want to write two ifs because it's ugly. This one here is much better. Clear?
Yeah.
So here, because I'm using and only, so that's what you call short circuit. If this value is true, that means if I have a user object, then it will go to check the rule. If this value is false, that means if I don't have user object here, it will never check the second condition. Because these ones will be false. It doesn't matter if it is false or true, it will be false. Because I'm using and voila. Yes, Agnieszka, what's your question?
And also line 22, do we need return? Because if we say return, then
No,
it will go to else block?
No. You don't really need to return. Why? Because we are using if else. So either it will go to if or it will go to else. So you don't really need to return. No. Any other question? Well, I think now it should be fine. We go through a lot of stuff. Let's take a short break, 15 or 20 minutes. So it's 10. Yeah, let's get back 10 minutes to complete our project, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's build our index.js. That's very important. What different library I need here? Any idea? So I need to import Express, of course, as you know. Yes. So I need to import Express from Express. I need to import .env or .env, import .env from .env. I need to import cookie parser, and I need to import what do I have? Course. Do I need course here or not?
Yes.
Of course I need. Mangoes, I don't need it, but I need cookie parser actually, because why? Because I will have a cookie and I need to parse them. Cookie parser from cookie parser. And I will need also helmet. And I'll tell you now what helmet. So let me just see. Course, we did it. .env, we did it. Express, we did it. A cookie parser. Now I just need helmet, and that should be fine. Import helmet from helmet. So what the hell is this helmet? Well, let's see. If I go to npm, so npm. So if I click on this one here, as you can see here, it just helps you to secure your Express app by setting HTTP response header. So how can I use it? Well, you just say app.use helmet like that. Of course, now you can add a lot of settings here. So these different settings, you can play with them according to your need. But for now, for us, we will just use helmet without any setting because it's the first time we are using it. But know that helmets help you just to secure your server. So you just need to install it. As you can see, a lot of people using it actually weekly. We have like 602,000 of people, 863 are downloading it for their server. So it's quite popular actually. Okay, I have my helmet. Now, what do I need to import here? I need to import something important. Import. What should I import? DB connection. Yes, no. So I need to import my DB. Where's my DB connection? So I need to import connect. Connect. And what was the name? Let me just click here so I don't make any mistake. Connect to DB. So let's go here, and I need to import connect.db from / because this is /config db.js. So I'm importing my DB connection. Of course, I don't need mangoes because I already construct my connection here in this function. So I just need to import these functions. That's it. Fine. Now, what else do I need to import? Yes. I need to import middleware. What middleware do I need here?
Logger.
Yes, so I need to import logger actually. Import logger from it's /middleware logger.js, and yeah, that should be correct. Voila. Okay, I'm importing my middleware. What else do I need to import now? I need to import my routes, right? But of course, currently I don't have routes, so let's just keep it this way. And then here I need to load my environment variable, as we know. Load environment variable. Environment variable. Oh, how to load in my environment variable? It's simple, just .env.config. Why I don't use any path here? Well, because simply .env and index.js is the same folder, so it will not be a problem. I need to define my port, so I can just say const port all cap. It's equal to process.env.port, which I already have here. In case for some reason I did not be able to do this port, which is 5.4. Maybe you can go with 5.3 or anything 5,000 is fine. I'll go with 5.3. It doesn't matter really. After that, now I need to make a connection to my database. So I need to connect to my database. How? I just need to execute the function. Voila. And that should be good. Now here I need to initialize Express. How can I initialize Express? How can I initialize Express? Const app, it's equal to?
Express.
Yes, simply like that. I'm just initializing Express here. Fine, I've initialized my Express. I did this one here. Now, after that, I will need to have something actually here. You remember course, right? Course, middleware here. So I can just do it use course, and here in the course, I can pass a few stuff here, an object. The first one, it will be origin. And the second one, it will be credential. Now, the origin here, as I told you, I can just make it as an array like that. And I can add whatever I want to. This is not correct, of course, I'm not gonna keep it. But let's say we don't have one origin, we have multiple origin. Now, if we are going to do this one, actually, that's not a good practice. So what a good practice will be? Well, a good practice will be it to just, as you can see, course origin. So I can add all my origin. And if I have more than one, I'm gonna separate them with comma. So 1, 2, 3, I can add as much as I want to here. And now here, all I need to do, I need to access this cross origin from my .env. Remember 5173, that's my React component, my frontend. So how can I access this one from my .env? Well, I can just simply here come, and I can declare a variable here. I can just say const allowed origin. So what are allowed origin here? Well, my allowed origin here, it will be, where should I grab them from? Process.
Process.env.
Yes, process.env.allowed.origin.split by, well, actually, first I need to make sure if they exist there or not. So if they exist, now I can split them. If they do not exist, I will take the default value, which will be, let me check it. I'm taking this one here, 5173. And you may tell me why 5173, because that's the port we normally use for our application. Well, now all I have to do really, I have just to remove this one and add origin. So what's going on here? Well, I'm saying here, I want you to go to process.env.allowed origin. I'm not sure if the name is correct or not. So let's make here, it's allowed, no, it's cursed origin actually. So let's go here, and here, let's just remove this one, voila. Remove this one, voila. So what I'm saying here, if there is process.env.course origin, if I have them, well, I will take them, and then I will split them by comma. Why split by comma? Because as I told you here, if I have multiple origin here, I will just add comma and add them. And of course, as you know, when string, we split it by comma, it will give me what? What will be the result? So when I split string by comma, what will be the result? Split, what does split do? What is the result of split? What's the result of split?
An array, but Sam,
Yes.
but why do we need multiple origins?
Well, maybe now here in development, I need this origin. In production, maybe I need to allow someone else. And maybe it's not just only me. I want to be able to access my server from different port, not just this port. Let's say I'm using a React app, the old one. My colleague is using the old one. So this one, it will not be the same. So I will need to add 2 of them or 3 of them. So a good idea here, a good approach here, I can add all of them, and just add comma, comma, comma. And then here I will first, what I can do in my index.js, I will check if I have those. Notice, if I have them, it's ternary operator. If I have them, I will grab them, and then I split them by comma. And split here, of course, it will create an array with multiple value, because I may have multiple value. Now, if I don't have these values, then I'm just going with this one, HTTP localhost 5173, and it's also inside an array, as you can see. Clear?
Yeah, thank you.
It just make your code more reusable, better like that. It's more readable like that. So I will just make some space here, and voila. Actually, maybe I make too much space. One is enough. Voila. It's just another way here. Before we just add our array directly, Now here we're just putting our inside.env and then we are accessing, we check if it exists. I want you to split them by comma, and you need to remember now every time if you want to add another origin, you need to separate them by comma, because that's the function I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. If it does not exist, the value does not exist on .env, it will take the default value, which will be HTTP localhost 5173. Fine, now I've implemented now course. Now I need to use helmet. Well, to use helmet is super easy. Use helmet, so I can just say app.use helmet. That's it. For now, I'm not gonna pass any option. Remember, you can pass a lot of option if you go back again to helmet. So we have a lot of option here, and all of them control the different header. It just make your server more secure. But for now, let's just go with a default value. And you may tell me now, we are just using the default value. Yes, but in reality, helmet using 16 other middleware. And all these 16 middleware here, it's just making your server much better and more secure. Okay, so we used helmet. That's really nice. Now, what do I want to do? I need to parse some stuff. So what do I need to parse? So I need to parse JSON. In case I have JSON, I need to import, I will parse URL encoded, extended true, as you know. And also I need to parse something very important, which are the cookies. Because if I can't parse my cookies, I will not be able to get token and stuff like that. Now I need to use logger. But here, remember, I told you logger here, I need to use it only during the development, not in the production, right? So how can I know if I am in the production or I am inside development? Well, this environment variable I can use here, as you can see. So all I have to do here, I can just check if process, it's just like I'm accessing .env, that's it. If process.env, we don't have to add this variable to the .env. If it's equal to development, then I will use logger like that. Now here, if it become production, I'm not gonna use it. I like that, I don't want to worry about here. Again, if I go to .env, I don't have this variable here. And I don't need it. Why? Because when I'm running my script here, I'm saying here cross-env. I want node-env, this variable here, to be production. And we use it when we deploy our production, because on deployment here, it just use node space minus those in the index.js. But during the development, we are using node moon, as you know. So we are using diff, and when we are using diff, simply I'm saying node in this variable I want it to be development, simply like that. And I'm using this library here because sometimes, as I told you, depending on the operating system, Windows, Mac, Linux, sometimes if I log this variable here, it's give me undefined. So to prevent this one here, you can just install this cross-env as a div dependency and just here pass it before you declare, give this variable a name and or value, sorry, and then just pass your script here. So again, you have this one also, so you don't want to worry about here. All we need to do, just say process.env.node-env, what's the node environment currently. If it's development, I want you to use logger. If not, it will not use it. Clear? Yes, no? Hello?
Yes.
Use route, I don't have route, but here I need to handle 404, as you know. Handle 404, so to handle 404, I'm just gonna copy paste, that's it. So as you can see, app.use request response here. And here, of course, I need to add asterisk. Why do I need to add asterisk? What the asterisk mean? What does asterisk? It just means everything. So it will go through my route, all my route. And if there is no match, it will go to here. It doesn't matter what's the route here. It will stop here. As when it will return simply not found or page not found or whatever you want to. You just say page not found, simply like that. Also, I need to handle an error in case I have an error. That's if something go wrong with my on my server, it will go directly to this one, as you can see. And in error, if you remember, we have 4 parameters: error, request, response, next. I don't need next really, because after that, I don't have anything in my server. I'm logging the error.stack. Error is an object stack. It will just, you can log the error if you want to, or the stack. And here I'm responding status 500, that means it's server down. And here something went wrong. Or I can just say internal server error, which is better actually. Internal server error. Voila. And maybe here it would be a good idea not to capitalize this one. It doesn't really matter here. The exclamation mark, voilà. And now, finally, what should I do now? I need to listen, right? So I can now just say listen, app.to listen here. And here I can just say server is running on port, and I can define my port, simply like server is up and running on port with the port I defined it. And now, of course, everything should be fine. I remember I did not import any route yet. I did not use any route because I don't have them, but now my structure, my server is up and running and everything should be fine. What I need to do now, I'm going to, let me close this one. Let me go here and now let me go to this guy. Let me connect to my cluster. I already have the connection, so I'm connecting to my cluster. What I'm going to delete this Amazon. Of course, it's not a good idea actually now to create Amazon because I did not define yet my module. But it's just I'm trying to connect. Later on, I will check my database. Also, I'm going to open my Postman because I need to test my backend. I don't have a front end currently, and I need to know, or I need to wait to test my my backend. So I'll put this one here. I'll put this one here. That should be fine. Okay, what do I need now? After I done this guy, what do I need? Where should I go? Yes.
In index.js, do we need to construct the path for the static files? Because it will be from dist.
Actually, you are absolutely correct. So maybe we can add it here, which would be nice here. Serve static folder. A static folder here. I just need this one here. app.use express.static. No, I need something called dist actually. It was express.static, and here I can take pass. I did not construct the pass.
No.
That's bad. Let's just keep it now. For now, let's just keep it. We'll go back to it later. Don't worry. Let's just serve static folder. I need to remember it because if I don't serve any static folder, I'll not be able to see my front end, but it's here. Okay, now before serving this static folder here, which is the static file here, let's just serve this, name it. And I will keep it later on. Fine. What should I do now after that? What should I do now after that? I need to go to my
models or routes.
Of course, I need to go to my route. And here in route, I have user. So what I need to do here, what do I need to import? What do I need to import? Express. And then here, what I need to do here, I can just say a router. So const router, it will be express.router. And here I can define my route actually. I don't have the function here, so I'm just gonna say /register like that. And yeah, let me just keep it this way. Not pass any function now. Should be fine. Also, it actually shouldn't be get, should be post. It's much better because we are trying to log in. So now I can use router the same idea, .post login, and here log out. Also, I'm gonna use post. There's no huge difference, but it's just post is better than get in this case. Okay, I'm gonna click on this one. What do I need to go now? Where do I need to go?
Controllers.
Yes, so what I need to do, of course, in user controller, I will need to pass, import some stuff. But now let's just say const user controllers like that, which will be an object. And now here, let's just try to export it for now. exp user controller now. And now here, what I need to do, I need to import it here, right? So I can just say import user controller, and it will be from /controller user.js. And here is the controller. I will need a few functions, of course. What do I will need? I'll need register, of course, to register as a user. And here it will be a sync function, of course. I'm not gonna add any code currently. I just need the functions. That's it. Register. I need login, and I need logout. Logout does not have to be async, right? Does logout have to be async?
No.
Okay, let's just do that. And now what I need to do here, simply, after I import this one, now I need to destructure it. I can just say const, register logout, login logout, and it's coming from user controller, which should be okay. So now here I need to just to add register. Here I need to add login, and here I need to add logout. Simply like that. And now at least the bare minimum is here. Of course, I need to import a lot of stuff here, but that's for now, it's fine. I've defined my user route at least. After I define my user route, it's a good idea now to go to the product. Now, in the product route, instead of doing all of that again, maybe I can just copy this too, because all the time I need to actually, yeah, here I don't need this stuff here. Of course, it will not be a user route. That's not right. I'm going to click on this one. Now I'm going to go to my controller, and it will be product, the same idea. Same idea, you can just create now const product controller. Product is not correct, right? Product, now it should be correct. Product, yes, controller. It will be an object. Simply now I need just to export it. So I'm just creating structure now. I'm not adding anything. I'm just creating some structure. Of course, I need to import it here. So I can just say import product controller. And it's coming from controller.js here. And of course, here, that's my controller here. Am I exporting this one? EXP route? No.
And in user, you should export it too.
Indeed. Voila. Fine. How many functions do I need for this guy, which is product? Well, I will need a few actually. Yeah. How many do I need? I need to be able to get all of them. So get all the products. Of course, now this one, it will be a sync function, as you know. Why? Because I'm trying to go to my database and try to grab this value. I need to be able to get product, just one product, that's it. Not by ID, that's fine, just get product like that. I need to be able to create a product. I need to be able to update a product. I need to be able to delete a product. That's the 5 function I need currently. Well, after I import this guy, now I can destructure those, I suppose, right? So what I can do here, do normally I put it here or here? Yeah, this one should be at the top, so yeah. Let's go to product. Yeah, now what I can do here, I can structure it, of course, and I need to destructure all of those, as you know, from product controller. And now here I can just define my routes. So it will be get, and here I'm gonna add product. Oh, just like that. So get all product, here get one product, here add product, here it will be update and delete product, and have my all product here. That should be fine. Okay, everything should be fine here. I define the product. Now, what do I want to do now?
So now we don't need to take all the products by the user, because only the admin can create products.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay. Because only admin can create this product, so we don't care about the user, because now the user job here will be only able to add an item, and that's my item, to the basket, and after that make a payment, simply like that. Okay, after that, let's go to the item, and the item here, simply, it will be, click on that. Actually, maybe I don't know if I can reuse something from here. So I'm gonna copy it I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna change it so I don't have to do all this import again and again. Let me go to item like that. I need to create an object, of course, pause. It's item controllers. Controller should be with S. Voila. I need to export it. You should be fine. Here express, and here I just need to import the correct one, which should be item. Import item controller. Should be .js, which should be okay. Express, that's fine. All these functions to be defer. And here I need to replace this guy with this one here. And here, of course, I will replace the product with item. Items with S. I don't have this function, of course. Now I need to create them. Voila. And now I have my items that have everything. Okay, for the item controller, what do I want? It will be the same idea. I need to get all the item, get item, and then here, get item belong to one user, specific user, because that's important. Why? Because the item here is the item in the basket. That means I should be able to get all the item belong to the specific user. And then should be able to create an item, update an item, and delete item. So the first one here, it will be get all item, let's name it, get all items like that, I suppose. Yeah, get all items. And of course, it will be async function. Why it will be async function? Because I'm trying to connect to my database. And here I just say get item. There will be one specific item. And now here I need to be able to create an item, of course, update item and delete item. But I need also to be able to grab the item which belong to one specific user. So maybe here I can just name it get user item. Get user item, and also that will be my function simply. Now, what do I need to do here? Well, I simply need to destructure these guys. So I can just say const. And here I am getting all of them. So I'm getting get all items, get item, get user items. Remember, items could be one or more because the user could have multiple items in the basket. That's why I make it plural. Create item, update item, delete item. And that should be okay. Now just need to do this one. Get all item. Now here I need to add get item. Here I need to add create item. This one should be update item. And this one should be delete item. And of course, I'm still missing one route, okay? What is my route I'm missing? What's the route I'm missing? It will be item slash user. That means belong to specific user slash ID. Remember, this ID, it will be the user ID. You can give it different naming if you want to, it's fine. But if you give it a different naming here, that means when you try to grab it from param, it will have the same name, simply like that. I will just name it ID, that's fine. So that's all my stuff here. I'm getting everything. I have my structure, that's good. And now this should be fine, I suppose. I just have the payment now. So in payment, I don't really need a lot of stuff here. I just need one route, which will be slash payment when I'm trying to make a payment. That's it. So I need to import Express again. Express. In here, I need to go in here. And I go to payment controller. Same idea, I can just say const payment controllers. Payment con. Which will be an object. Of course, I need to import some stuff and work on the logic. But for now, I mean, just the structure and just fine. So yeah, that's it. And now here I need to import this one. So I can just say import. It's payment controller. And don't forget to add .js. And after that here in payment controller, actually, I think I don't need a lot of function. I just need one which will be make payments. That's it. Just make payment when the user try to pay. And here it will be a sync function, of course. And that should be enough for now. If I need more function, I can add later, but I don't think I need any other function. I'm creating my route here. And after I create my router, now what I can do here, I can just say const. make payment, and that should be fine. Let me just check those. Yes, it should be the same. Just so I have consistency. And now here, of course, now it will be one route, and here I will not name it make payment. I'll just payment. That's it. And yeah, so I now just need to export it. And that should be fine. So all of that should be fine, should be fine. I defined all my routes, at least the skeleton of them. I define all my route, and now here I need to import my route. So I need to import first user routes. It's from /routes/ not user route, but user only. User.js, right? Okay, the second one here, it will be not auth route. Actually, it will be import. I need product routes from /product.js, which is good. Then I need item, import item, also routes from route this one. And now here I need the payment routes from /payment. Of course, now what I need to do here, I just need to use all these guys. So it will be user first app dot. I will just use API. I will not use anything else because it's my route. I already have those. So all I need to do now is just app dot use API /user route, and same for the product route, same for items, same for payment. Voila, and that should be good, I suppose. Okay, now what do I need to do? This one here. Maybe it would be a good idea to construct my path now. Construct path. If I know how to type it. Construct path. So it will be simple const __ file, as you know. That's not what I want. __ file. Name it will be equal to, what the hell happened? Am I not importing them? Okay, I'm not importing the building module. And the building module I need, what do I need?
Their name.
Their name, as you know. Also, I need file to URL. Now here, file, I can just use this guy, which will be file to URL. And now here I can just, I will not name it their name, I will name it path. Why did I construct the path? Because I want to serve what?
Static files.
Yes, now here to serve static file, I can just say app.use express.static path.join, it will be path, and here I will have a folder called test. And that should be for now, okay. And like that, my index.js is completed. My route are completed. I need to work on my controller, but before my controller, I need now to create my module. Now, what I need to do here, I need to know the user module, what does the user module need? So what do I, first, what do I need to create a module? What do I need? Yes, I'm listening. I need Mongoose. Import Mongoose from Mongoose here. And now all I have to do, depending on what I'm trying to say, so I can just say const user schema. So it will be schema like that. And here, as you can see, it will just say new mongoose.schema. And here, this schema guy here, it will be an object. I need to pass an object. And now here I can define different property. What do I need? Well, first I need the email. And as you know, the email type, it will be string. Should it be required or not? Of course, should be required. And also it must be unique because we are using the email to make a validation. So it must be unique. We need password. And password here simply also, it will be a string required true. We don't want anything else. Username we need actually as well. Password is correct. Yes. And now here we need username. Well, that's not a biggie, it's same idea. Username, and here I need to add a comma. So currently I have email, I have password, I have username. I forgot something important. What it is?
Timestamp?
What is
Role, okay.
rule? So because here, the rule here is super important. And depending on the rule, I will allow the user to add product or not. So type is string required. No, I don't want to make it required. I want to give it the default values. If I say default, what will be the default? The default, it will be admin or it will be user?
User.
Of course not admin. So it's really normal. It should be normal user by default. And then if I want to upgrade it, I can change it in my database. And here, of course, I need to pass also the timestamp. Why do I need the timestamp? Well, because timestamp here, it will be responsible on updating and so it give me the timestamp for adding and updating. I like that MongoDB will handle it, which should be much better for me. And now here, all I need to do, I can just say const user, which will be my module here. It will be equal to mangoes.module, simply like that. And here, remember, it must be single and it must be uppercase, and I'm passing my user schema. And now all I have to do, I can just export this one. So let's export it, PXP user. And that's my module, simply like that. So first I need to define my schema, as you can see, and to create my schema, I need to say new mangoes.schema. It will be an object. Inside object, I will pass all my property I want. I can create a comma new object. Timestamp is true, which will be responsible for adding a date when the user being created or updated or whatever. And here, all I need to do is say const user, and that's a convention here. It must be uppercase. Mangoes.module, and my module name, it will be user. It will be single and uppercase. And then MongoDB, it will update it and it make it lowercase user and add S to it, so it make it plural. The job of MongoDB, don't worry about it. I'm passing my user schema, and then I'm exporting my user. Now I can, of course, use the same module exactly for product. Of course, it will not be the same value, but now I can just update it here. So I can just say product dot schema, and now here I can come here and remove this one. And here, instead of user, I can just name it product. Well, that should be simple here. Here also should be product, as you know. And of course, I need to export the product. That was simple, huh? Of course, timestamp, I'm going to keep it the same. I'm not going to change anything with the timestamp. But now I need to think, what does product need? So normally the product, of course, will not have email and password and stuff like that. So I need to delete this one. Normally the product has a title, right? So title, what does title here? To be string required? Yes, I want it to be required. Does this guy here, which is product, does it have description? Well, yes, I should have a description. And then again, here it depends what do you want here, really. Also string and require. Maybe category if I want to. So let's add category. And category, just make some space here. Category also, it will be stringy, it will be required. Okay, what else do I need? Well, maybe price. It will be nice to have a price of the product because that's important. Price will be number and of course required to. And then maybe I need an image. Image like that. An image, it will be string required. So that's my product simply. You can add more item if you want to, or more fields. So title, description, category, price, and image. That should be enough for me. I'm exporting it. Everything should be fine. Click, click. Now I need to create the same for items, and I should be fine. So for the item, actually, it will be very close to product. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. And here, instead of using product, I can now use item. Item like that. Item schema. And now what I can do, I can go here and just pass this one. Of course, I need to update this one. Item like that. And now my module name, it will be item. That's it. Not something biggie. Huh? Okay, that should be fine. All of them. I've created my module. I've created my route. Now I really need to work on my controller a little bit, maybe. So first, it will be the user controller. What time is it? It's almost 12. I was not expecting it to take this long time, really. Fine. We just need to work on our controller. And when I finish the controller, after that, I will ask you to build your backend yourself. And yeah, any question? Question?
We come
In
back.
items, in the models, in items, we don't need the user ID and the
Yes, actually, I did not
product
update it.
ID.
Yeah, you are right. Actually, I did not update it. It was just title, description, maybe category, price, and here I will need to add quantity as well because I don't know how many items I have. So maybe I can add quantity. Quantity here, it's how many items do I have? Number and true. Image, I don't need image actually. So here, maybe quantity is not correct. Quantity, voila. And now what I want here, actually, I need the user ID. You're absolutely right. Why do I need the user ID? Because if I don't have the user ID, how could I know this item belong to what? So what I need to do here, just say user underscore ID. And user underscore ID, of course, it will be coming from, as you can see here, it will be coming from Mango's schema type. So it will be an object ID and it refers to the user collection and require is true. I don't need the image. Image is not important for me. So that should be okay. Is the idea clear here?
And the product ID, no? Like we had the hotel ID?
No, because the product here, it will be added only by the admin. So I don't think we'll need the product ID. So the item should not, I don't want to make a connection between the product and the item, okay? I want only to make a connection between the item and the user because that's what's important for me. The product here only, not normal user. So user will not be able to add or delete or anything. Only the admin will be able to add those. So I will not make a connection, but I need to make a connection between the item and the user. Why? Because like that, I will know all the item belong to this user. And remember, this user can at any time delete item, add item, update, maybe not update, I will not implement update, but delete, which means delete, remove from the basket, add to the basket, and get all. Is the idea clear, Radhika?
Yes.
So quantity here, so I know how many items. Maybe, for example, the user want to buy a book, the same book, but 5 copies, for example. So it's a good idea to have 5 and the price of one of them. And of course, now I'm making here a foreign key to connect the item to the user. So it will be user ID type here. It will be mangoes.schema.type object ID because the user ID is actually an object ID you study. Would it refer to which collection? Well, it's the user collection, of course. Is it required? Yes, absolutely, it's required. That should be perfect. Now, what do I need to do? Well, I need to work on these 4 controller actually, work them functional, and then I test it and it should be done. Is the idea clear?
Yeah, and some also in routes, if you go to routes and items. So do we need the first 2, get all and get one? Because last time we deleted, so
now
only
item
the
yes, get all item probably will not need it, get item probably will not need it, but the idea here, I just created general structure. So my code, it will be working, my server will be working. And then after that, I can modify it depending on my need. I will check if I need it, okay, I'll keep it. If I don't need it, I can just delete it, something like that. Okay?
Okay.
Most probably I will need just this one, get all the item belong to the specific user and maybe able to create an item. The user should be able to create an item. And now probably update an item, no, but you can delete an item. Create item, delete item, maybe. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Great. Let's take our lunch break and get back at 1. I will try to finish the controller in less than 1 hour, all of them. And after that, the backend should be very clear. And yeah.
Bon appétit.
See? Bon appetit.
You can stop.
Before user module, I will need other stuff.
Bycrypt.
Yeah, GWT to create a token. So I need to import import GWT, and I will need to import decrypt. Yeah. Also, I will need to import few stuff. What are those? So that's my module, but I need some
Util
other
function.
yes. So I need to import validate. Validate. Let me see. I will need validate password. I will need validate email. Actually, even this one should be a little bit off. So validate email, validate password, match password. Before that, I need to import validate username, validate user name, and I will import now match passwords. Okay, what else? Hash password and capitalize. I'm not sure if I need capitalize here, but I will need hash password. Passwords, that should be fine, all of them. So we import validate email, validate password, validate username, match password, a hash password. And in case we need capitalize here, but I don't think we'll need it here. In case we need it, we can import it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we import 5. Okay. So the first one, we should be register. What do I need to do for register? What do I need to do? I need to grab some value from
Body.
request.body. So I will need user, and let's take email first, as it is the most important. So email password and username, and I need to have repassword because the property here it will be a repassword and not just password. Well, that should be fine. So that's all my property. Now I need to use try and catch, as you know. Let's use try and catch, and in case I have an error for some reason, what should I do in case I have an error? I can just log the error. Console.error error, and I need to send status 500. So restore status 500, and here I can just pass any message I want to. I can pass the error.message if I want to, or maybe a server error, whatever you want to. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create an object because it's JSON, and here I can just say message, and here it will be simply error.message. Voilà. Remember, the error is an object, so I have a different property inside it. One of them, it will be a message.
Yeah, but we have to change in JSON, not in send.
Yeah, you're right. Voilà. Should be good now. Okay. After I do that now, what should I do here in the try block? What should I do first? I need to check if user, yes?
Exists.
Yeah, check if user exists, because if the user exists, I should not allow the user to register again. So now here I can just say post user exist, or whatever you name you want to tell it. So now here I need to use await, and I can use the user module dot find, and here I can use find one, and here I just pass my so that's a filter object, and here you can pass my email. So what's going on here? Well, I'm trying to find if the user exists or not, and now I'm filtering by the emails. That means it will try to find if user with the same email exists or not. Here I have two possibilities. If the user exists, that means I should not allow him to register again because his data exists. So I need to log in, right? So what I can do here, I can just say if user exists, now that user exists. So what should I do? Well, I can just return here, and here I can just say status 400. That means it's a client error. message user already exists. And remember, I'm using return here. Because I'm using return here, I don't need to use else block. And now here, if I got to this point, that means the user does not exist. Because if the user exists, it will go just send status 400 as this message, and it will return. It will exist the function. If I got to this point, that means the user does not exist. This email does not exist. So now I need to validate email, password, username, and match password. Well, how can I do all of that? Well, it's quite simple. I can just say const is valid email. And here I'm just need to use this function here, which is util function I create. Is valid. It look like I did not pronounce it correctly. Yeah, should be valid. Voila. Is valid email. Voila. Let's see if now here, if it's valid, no, I need to take all the conditions. Const is valid password. Yes. And here const is valid username, and here is match. And in is match here, we are passing the password and repassword. Remember that. Because match password here, take password and confirm password. So it will be first the password. Doesn't matter really. And now what I need to do, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to check all these 4. Now, if all these 4 is true, then I will go to the next step. So I can just say if is valid email and is valid password and is valid username and is match. So if all of them are okay, then we will do something. But if not all of them are okay, then what should I do? If not all of them are okay, what should I do?
Return status 400.
Yeah, I can just say invalid email, password, or username. That means one of the input are not valid. You don't have to write it this way. You can just say invalid input. That's okay as well. And of course, we are returning here, although we don't need to return, but it's fine. Okay, now if we get to this point here, that means the email is valid, the password is valid, the password and the password must match, the username is valid. So what do you think I should do here?
Hash password.
Exactly. So I need to hash password here. So I need to here hash the password, and then I need to create a user, of course. Did I import hash password? Yes. So I can just say const hashed password, it's equal to await. I don't need to use await. Why? Because hash password here, it's synchronous operation. If I go back here, I'm using sync. That means I don't need to use await. So yeah, hash passwords, that should be fine. After I hash my password, now I can create a new user. I can show const new user. It's equal to new. I'm just using my module. So email, it will be the same. The username, it will be the same. But the password, it will be the hash password, simply like that. And now here, I just need to wait until the user is being saved. So I can just say await user.save. Voila. And the user is being created simply. And now here, what I can do, I can just send the response 201. Why 201? Why 201?
Register.
Because we are adding a new record. Whenever we add a new record, the status code, it will be 201. And here I can just simply say, come on, ris.status 201. And here I can use JSON, but what I can do here, use created, and also I can pass the user, by the way. User here, it will be new user. Again, what you're returning here is really depend what the frontend want from you. Maybe the frontend does not need the user object. Maybe they need it. Maybe they don't need the message. Maybe they need it. So depending. But for me now, I'm just passing a message. User is created successfully, maybe. Successfully. And I'm passing also the user object here, just in case. That should be good now. We have implement register. Cool? Cool or not?
Yes.
Good. login. Now, of course, for the login here, when the user try to log in, he will just able to log in using the email and the password. That means I will only have email and password. So we can just recommence. You can structure the email from a password from request.button. And now I need to do the same idea here. You can just use try and catch. It's actually almost, it will be the same. So I have an error here. And in case I have the error, I can just do like register here. If I go back here, what is it? Or you can just copy this one. On error.message, of course, it will be different. So it's not a problem. And for the first one, I want to check if the user exists. It will be the same as well. So let me copy this one. If you don't understand what I'm doing, you can ask. I'm repeating for you. So now as the user try to log in, I need to check if this user exists or not. So I'm checking here. I'm saying await user.find1, where is the email is even now here. If the user does not exist, what should I do? If the user exists, that's okay, because he's registered now and I'm trying to log him in. But if the user does not exist, what should I do?
By crypt compare.
So I will just return status 400 JSON message, say user does not exist, please. I can just say user does not exist or whatever you want to. User does not exist. Please register, or maybe you can just say email password is not valid. It's really depend what you want. I'm using a return here because I'm using a return here. I don't need the else block, because the return simply it will return it now. Here, if I got to this point, that means the user exists. If my user exists, that means I have the email, but now I need to check as a password. What should I do for the password? What should I do for the password? I need to validate the password. How can I validate the password? How did I hash the password? What did I use to hash the password?
By crypt compare.
Yeah, so we'll use the same here. So it will be bycrypt.compare, and compare here. I need to pass the password. Notice this password here is what the user entered. User exists.password. It will be the hash password, and I will have a callback error or result. And here I can just close it now, so I don't have this error. Now the result, I don't like result because this one, it will be a Boolean. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change it to is valid. And now here, simply what bcrypt is going to do, it is going to compare the password the user passed and the password, which is the hash password. And of course, here I will have, if I have an error, I should just send something to the user, tell him that something go wrong. And if it's valid, that means this password and the hash password, they match. And of course, if they match, then after that, I need to create a token, as you know. So the first step here, I will just say if error, then what I can do here, I can just return. I can here either use this way. No, actually, I can return it to be even better. Return status 500 JSON message error.message. So simply what I'm saying here is, if I have an error, it will be object. I will have a message in it. I'm just logging this message which belongs to the error. You need to be careful here because sometimes the error coming or the message coming from the error, sometimes they're not user friendly. So again, depending on what the front end need from you, you need to do. Maybe they want to return a specific message, maybe they want that. So it will be easy. It's really simple. It depends what they need, you're gonna change it, it's fine. I'm using return here, that means I don't need to use the else block here. I can just now check if is valid. And of course, if it's valid, that means both a password and hash password, they match. And if they match here, at this point, now I need to create my token. But how can I create my token? So create token. So I can just say here, const token is equal to GWT, as you know, GWT.sign. And when I sign here, what do I need to pass? The first parameter I told you, it will be something, and second parameter, it will be process.env.search. Yeah, I don't know what I call it, so I need to check my .env. Process.env. Let's go here. Token secret. Voila. Of course, here you can pass some option here if you want to, for example, to if you want to specify a specific time for the token to be invalid. So you can pass here another object, and if you pass the object like that, as you can see, you can have a lot of stuff here pass. For example, expire. So you can have expire in coding. Mostly we use expire in, but I don't want to use any expire because when I do it as a cookie, it will be session. So its age, it will be a session age. So it's okay for me. Okay, now it's fine. But the problem here we have an object, and I told you that's what we call the payload. Normally, this object here, it includes a user object. But where is my user object? Well, that's my user object. Voila. So what I need to do here, simply, I can just say user, and here I can say user object. Remember, when I do validate user and validate token, I say data dot user. So this key must be user here. Why? Because again, when I go to here, notice what I'm saying here. That's my data. That's my object. So I'm saying here data dot user. That's the user object. And that's the reason why I just here, where is my payload? Where is my payload? Where's my payload? Voila. So that's the reason why I give it this key user, because that's actually the data. So when I validate the token, I will get my data, which will be an object. Data dot user here. And of course, the user, as you can see, I could have rule, email, password, and username, and like that, I will be able to access the rule. Do you understand why I add the user object here? Yes? No?
Is the object of data?
I'm sorry?
Is the object of data? Is the data object?
Yes. So this here, this one, let me just cut this one so sorry. This object here, that's what we call the payload. That's the data. So that's the data. When we decrypt it here, when you verify the token, that's the data. And inside the data, what do I have? Well, I have another object. Why? Because user exists is an object actually. So that's the key user, and you here it will be an object, as you can see. That's the reason why I say data dot user dot rule or something like that. Is it quite clear? Yes? No? Yes? No?
So if we put here only user exist without user colon user exist, so in the where was it? In the middleware, we should change it to user exist, or it will not work.
It will not work because in the middleware I am saying data that's the object dot user. If I now name it user exist, it will not work because simply now I need to go to my middleware and change it to user exist. This is a property here. The property must be user. The value, of course, user exists is an object, but what I care about here, I care about this one, because I am saying here inside my validate token or check user, what I'm saying here, I'm saying data, that's what the payload, that's the object, dot user, that means I need to have a user object. And the key must be user, and inside the user, I will have a rule. If you want to name it user exists, you need to name this one user exists as well. I think it should be clear. Yes? I mean, no. Whatever value you are passing here, you can name it whatever you want. But if you name it something here, when you try to check the user, you need to update the value here because you are just trying to access this object. So if you name the object test, this must be test. If you name it, I don't know, whatever, you need to name it here, whatever. I just named it user. And that's the reason why here, when I define the user payload here, I say user is equal to user. So it's an object. The key here, I give it here, which is user. Clear? Again, you can give it any name you want to. But if you change something here, you need to be careful in your check users. Otherwise, it will not work simply. Okay. Now I need to create my cookie. How can I create my cookie? How can I create my cookie?
Res.cookie.
Res.cookie. And here, I will not use the same site. And I will use HTTP only. Why I'm using HTTP only true? Why I'm saying HTTP true?
So no one can access from the front end.
Yeah. So the script cannot access it from the front end. But now I have a question. Should this one be token exactly or not? Should the key here be token or I can change it?
It should be token because in check user
Yeah.
you put
Yeah, so in
verify
verify token, and here I'm accessing it. So I'm saying request.cookie and I'm .token. So depending on what I am doing in my middleware, I will name my property. And here I need to name it token. If I don't name it token, that means it will have no value and it will not work. And now all I have to do now, after I created my token, well, I need to return something to the front end. So I can just say res.status, which will be 200, of course, because it was successful. And then here after that, I can just pass JSON. And in JSON here, I can pass whatever you want to. I can pass the ID if I want to. I can pass the username, and I can pass message. Of course, now we will see later on in the front end. When we do the front end, we will need the ID. So what I can do here, I can just pass the ID, which will be user_exist_ID. Remember that? And username also we need, which will be user_exist.username. Now, when the user logged in the front end, I will save these two values to the session storage, which will be the ID and the username. So yeah, simply like that. That should be okay. I can add another field if I want to. And here I can name it message, login successful or whatever. Again, it's depends what the front end want from me. Is the idea clear? Yes, no? Hello? Of course, that's if it's valid. But what if it's not valid? Well, it's quite simple here. I can just say invalid password, or should I just send invalid password? Should I just invalid password?
Email and password.
Email or because it will be security issues. That means I'm already confirming that the email is okay. The password is not okay. So here, just to make it more secure, I'll just say invalid email or password. So I don't know what's the problem. I don't know what's the problem, and I'm not gonna tell the user simply. That should be okay. And we did the login. Now we don't need to do the logout. The logout, it will be super simple. All I have to do in the logout, I need now to clear the cookie. To clear the cookie, it will be res.clear cookie, and I need to pass the name, the key here, which is token, and status 200, say message logout successfully. Voila, should be simple. This function does not need to be a sync function because I'm not dealing with database or anything. I'm just clearing the cookie, and then I'm sending status 200. And that's simply the user module or the user controller.
Samir,
Yes.
we need another route and controller that is available only to administrator for change the role.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you change the rules, that means everyone will be. Well, maybe I can do that actually. Let's see. There's two possibilities to do that. Either I can deal with that on my database, which is the simplest one. So simply, if I have a user here, let's go to hotel, for example. If I have user here, and now here, what I can do, I can just add this one. See, I can change it to whatever you want to. That's one. And the second one, yes, I can create also, if I want to, I can create a route where I check the user. If he's admin, then I will allow him to create or to change the role to admin. I'm not going to do that. I'll make it simple for now. So what you can do here, if you want to make anyone admin now, you can just change it in your database. Okay, Ms. Milano?
Sure, okay.
But if you want to go to this route, it's not difficult. It's really simple. All you have to do now here, you just need to update the user, just update the rules, that's it.
Yeah, it depends also if administrator can easily use a database or they need a front end something to do the
No,
change.
the administrator easily can deal with database because he's an admin, so he can access database very simply. Okay, that should be fine. Now I need to deal with the product, as you know. So what should I do in the product? First, what do I need in the product here? I need something here. What do I need in the product?
Model.
Of course, I need my product. run dot slash module product.js. I think product here is lowercase. It is actually lowercase. Okay. So now what do I want to do? Well, I want to be able to get all product. By the way, product and item, it will be almost the same idea, exactly, no change. So what do I need to do here? Well, simple, try and catch. And here, if I have an error, all I have to do just console.error, the error. And then here I can just send status here, 500, say, server error, or something goes wrong with the server error, whatever you want to do. 500 is server error. Okay, but if I don't have any error now, I will try to grab all the products. How can I do that? Well, I can just say now const products with S, because I'm trying to grab all of them. Products, yes. It will be equal to await, of course, as you know. And now here product dot find. And of course here, if I say find without anything, it will try to grab all of them. And here find here, whatever the product, it will be an array. So it's a good idea just to pass it this way like that. And the front end is simply know if it has any item or not, but I just want to change the status to 200. And voila. Simple, huh? Yes. No.
Yeah, and we don't need to check the length.
Check what?
The length of the products. If
no, but again, I'm sending it to the front end. And maybe if the front end asks me to do so, yeah. But I mean, checking if the length of the array is really simple, it's not complex. So yeah, I don't really think it will be something. Here, let me just log the error dot message just for consistency. Okay. If you want, you can check the length again. That's okay. But because it's an array, it's fine. I mean, you send it in the front end, you easily can check if the length exists or not. Get product. Well, to get product first, I will need an ID. So I can just say const ID, which will be equal to request.param, as we know. Then try and catch. Yeah, simply I have an error here. Maybe it would be a good idea actually to put this error inside the function, and because we are repeating it again and again and again. But that's fine. Let's just keep it for now like that. Now, okay, fine. Now what do I need to do? Well, I need to check if I have this product or not. So I can just say const product. Either you name it product or product exists. It's the same. And now here I need to use await. And here I need to use product dot find one or find by ID, by the way. It doesn't matter. Find one now, but I will find by what? I will find by ID. And remember here, the product, I don't have an ID. I have underscore ID, which will be equal underscore ID, which will be equal to ID. Voila. Now here I have two possibilities here. Either I will get an object, either I'm gonna null. And here it's simple. All I have to do, I can just say if product, simply like that. That means I have the product, it will be an object, it will be truthy. I can just send back the product, else I can just tell him, for example, 404 message product not found or does not exist, simply like that. Yes. Now, why I'm doing this one, I didn't want for the length. Because if I have an array, even if it's empty array, it will not cause any problem. But this one, it will cause a problem actually. Why? Because I have two different distinct values. Either it will be null, which is falsy value, or it will be product, which is an object. So maybe it's not a good idea just to send it this way. Maybe just here to try to separate both of them. It will be, again, depend what the front end want from me. That should be simple, I suppose. Create a product. Well, for create a product, it should be simple, but I need to know what different property do I need. So I'm going to product like that. So I need title, description, category, price, and image, all of that. So what I can do here, I can just say const title, description, category, price, and image. That's everything. And I can just now choose try and catch. Same idea here in the catch block. If I have an error, I can just do this guy. Should be easy. Now in the try, what should I do now? I will try simply to create a new product. I need to check if the title, remember the title all the property are required. That means I need all of them. So what I can do here, I can just say if title and description and product and everything, description and category and price and image. If I have all of them, then I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something else. Let's put the else block as well, and that should be okay. Okay, now if I don't have one of them, so what I can do, I can just send status for hundreds. That means user error. I can say all fields are required, or whatever message you want. It's fine. But now if I have all of them, I can just create a new product. So I can just say, just like user, new product. It's equal to new product. And now here I can pass all my stuff here, which will be a title, image, blah, blah, blah. Now here I need to wait until it's saved. Oh, that should be good. That's all I need. And now after I save it now, of course, I need to send a status. What will be the status here? What will be the status?
201.
201 because I'm creating. So 201, and I can pass a new product, or I can pass some messages. It really depend again what the front end want. That's been created. Actually, I can even add another property here if I want to before that. No, it's in update and delete. Actually, is not clear, so that should be fine. Fine. Now let's go to update and delete, and it should be done. Of course, in update, I will need an ID because I can update any specific product. Also, I will need the new value, which will be title, description, category, price, and image, stuff like that. So now I can just use try and catch, of course. If I have an error, it will be the same idea as before. Voila. Now here in the try block, what should I do here? Well, I need to check if I have title, description, category, price, and everything. And if that's the case, I can just update one. And of course, I am updating the object filter, it will be ID, and I can pass a new value. How was quite simple. So I can say here if title and description and category and price and image. Remember, if you have a form and you don't change them, they still have a value. So it will not be a problem. If I have all of them, I'm going to do something. If I don't have all of them, I'm going to send status. Also, as you can see, I say all fields are required. So I'm asking the user that simply it's not possible to update a product when for a specific field which has no value. Okay, if they have the value, so now what I can do here, I can just say const updated, what's the name of stuff? Updated what? Product, right? Updated product, it will be equal to await. And now here I can use my module product dot update one. And update one, of course, it will take two objects. As you can see, the first object, it will be the filter object, and the second one, it will be the property. What is the filter object? Well, I'm trying to update an item, but with what I'm trying to update? Well, I'm trying to update with its ID. So I'm saying here, underscore ID, it will be equal to the item ID. And now what different value I can update? Either I can use set, or I can just pass a new value like that. So title, comma, description, and that should solve the problem here. So one object, two object here. First object, that's what you call the filter object. So I want you to update the product where his underscore ID is equal to this ID, and that's the new value. This is the second object. Well, now I will have two possibilities here. So the first possibility is if updated product dot. So I have something, as you can see here, modify count. Modify count, that means which count or how many items being modified. So if the modified count here is more than 0, if it's more than 0, that means the item is being updated, simply like that. And if it's not greater than 0, so simply that means it's not being updated. So if it's more than 0, so status 200, message product updated successfully, else I just can say 404, that means the product is not found. Because if the product found will be updated successfully. Remember, product here, it will be an object. So this product dot update one, it will return an object. And inside this object, we have few property. One of them is modify count when you're trying to update. So if the modify count, that means the item has been updated or the product is being updated. If it's more than 0, that means the product is being updated. And that's what I'm saying. If not, then that means it will be 0. And I'm saying here 404, that means the user error because he's trying to update and product does not exist. Should be easy, huh? Yes, no.
Yeah.
And the last one now we'll try to delete, which should be simple as well. So for delete, I will need the ID anyway. So const ID, it's look like that. I can also use try and catch simply. And here, if I have an error, I'm gonna copy the error because it's repetitive. And here, all I have to do, I can just say const deleted item or what you can deleted product, sorry, or you can whatever you want it. Now here I can use await my module product dot delete one. As you can see, we have delete one. And with what I want to delete, well, I want to delete by the ID, so underscore ID, it needs to be equal to ID. Of course, now here, this delete product, it will be an object as well. One of the property I can just say if deleted product. If I say dot, see, it give me deleted count. So if the deleted count is more than 0, that means the item is being deleted successfully. And here I can just, instead of product deleted successfully, else, that means it's not being deleted. And most probably, that's because the item does not exist. And that's the reason why we are sending status 404. Should be clear, I suppose. Yep.
Yeah.
And voila, we finish with the product. Now for the item, it will be most of the time exactly like this one here. So we can go a little bit quickly, maybe. And then we have payment, and it should be done. Wow, it took very long time really. Okay. If we go to the item here, of course, the item, as I told you, it will be almost identical to the product. But here I need to import something. What do I need to import? Item from dot slash item lowercase dot js. I should be okay. So I can just use here try and catch. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep this way here. I don't want to log the error. I want to error the error. Actually, it's log, but here errors give me more data. I want to just get rid of this one. I just want to make it ERR. Same idea here. And here, let's just agree on sending the message which we have message. And here it will be just ERR.message. Should be fine. Well, now I can just say const items. It's equal to await. And here my item.find. Of course, I don't need to specify anything. And here simply I can just send it. It will be an array. Most probably I'm not gonna use this one here. I'm gonna code it, but most probably I'm not gonna use it. Because the most important one it will be get user item, create item, and delete item. Even update, I will not update the item. But let's code it anyway. Get item is quite simple actually. I just need the ID, as you know. After I get the ID, I need to use try and catch. And here it will be the same error as we normally do. Voila. And here what I can do, I can just say const item or item exist is equal to await.find, not by ID, find one. You can use by ID, of course, if you want to. But here, find ID, I need to pass an object where underscore ID is equal to ID. This is exactly like products. That's why I'm going a little bit fast. Well, of course, now here, either it will be an object or it will be null. So what I can do, if no item, That means the item exists. I can just send status 200 and my item. Else, well, I can just send status 404 because the user is trying to, item not found, trying to update or trying to get an item which does not exist. Simply like that. Okay, let's this one here. Now here, get user item. Remember in get user item. So if I go here and I go to my route, just my route. So I'm saying item slash user slash ID. This ID belong to the user. So this one will be user ID. So what I can do here, I can just say const ID again is equal to user ID. Now here you can name it whatever you want to. You can name it test if you want to, but if you name it test here, when you try to grab it from the param, it will be the same name. I mean, just to show you. This ID, remember, it's a user ID. Now what I need to do, I need to just try and catch. Of course, in try and catch, I'll have an error. And here I can just copy paste this one. How is it? Okay, when I'm trying here now, what I can do, I can just say user items, let's name it user items like that. It will be a wait item.find. Now I'm trying to find everything, not find one, find all. But with what? What is the key here? What is the key I'm trying to filter? So with which filter? And now I'm trying to grab all the item. I'm using find, remember, find it, give all of them. Now here, I did not pass anything because I want everything, but here I don't want everything. I want all the item belong to this specific user. So which key I should use here? User underscore ID equal to ID. Why? Because as I told you, this one to be the user ID. So this one to be user ID. So it's just like I'm saying, I want you to get me all the item where user underscore ID is equal to this ID. So, is it okay? Yes, no? What happened? Okay. And of course, it will be an array, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to send it to the front end. I just need to create item. It's important, actually. And update item. Delete item is important as well. Create item. So, well, I need to grab all the values, so I need to just say const. What's the item? I need to go to the user, sorry, the item module, because I don't know what property did I agree on. Voila. So here I will need to have title like that, description, category, price, quantity, and user ID. I will grab all of them actually. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 6 here. And here, of course, what I can do here, I can now use try and catch. I'm trying here to create, so ERR, that should be the same. So I can just say const. Actually, I can add if block here, so I just say if. I need to make sure now all of them exist. All of those need, because all of them are required here, as you can see. I'm trying to create, so if one of them is missing, it will not work. We can if title and now we go description, even the user ID I need it here. If all of them exist, now I can create a new item. But how can I create a new item? Well, it's quite simple. I can just say const new item. It's equal to new item. And here I can just pass the value here. And that should be okay. But of course, I'm not done. So that's my if, voila. Of course, I'm not done here. Yes, I have title, have description, category, price, quantity, and later. So now here I need to wait until it's being saved. And when it's being saved here, I can just send status. My status will be 201 because the item is being created. Simple like that. Now, if that's not the case, if one of those are missing, so all I have to do now, of course, it's a user error. So I can just send status 400 or 400, actually 400 because it's a client error. And here all fields are required, simple like that. Cool? No? Do you understand what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
Good. So now here create is being work fine. Now I need to update and delete. Or should be fine. Of course, to update, I will need the item ID, as you know. And here also, I will need the new property, which should be title, description, category, price, quantity. Remember here, when I'm trying to update, I don't want the user underscore ID. Can anyone tell me why? So when I created it, I needed user underscore ID. But when I'm trying to update it, I am ignoring the user underscore ID. Why?
Because it has to be the same. You don't need to
Yeah,
update.
because indeed, if one user created one item, if they updated, this user ID should not change. And that's the reason why we never change it here, as you can see. I can change all of the stuff, but not the user underscore ID. And here, of course, I can use try and catch, as you know. Same idea if I have an error. Oh, come on. And here I can just console.error and change these ones, that should be fine. But if that's the case, I can just say const updated item. And here I can just say await, and I'm using my module item dot update one, which we have. And I'm trying to update with what? What I'm trying to update with? What is this ID? Is it the item ID or not? What is this ID?
Yes.
Of course, it's the item ID. So now I can say underscore ID is equal to ID. That's the first object. The second object, I need now to pass the different property. And different property here, title, description, category, price. Well, that should be fine. Of course, after I did that now, this guy here, which is updated item, it will be an object. So I can just say updated item. If I say dot, notice it giving me something here, match count, modify count. I'm interested in modify count. Why? Because if modify count is more than 0, that means the item is being updated successfully, as you can see. If not, then most probably it's a user error because if you're trying to update something does not exist. That's what I'm doing. Voila. Delete, also same idea. I need an ID. So that should be okay. Try and catch. Error like that. And of course, well, what I need to do here, I can just say const deleted. Deleted item. It's equal to await. I'm using my item dot and delete one. And of course, I'm gonna delete it using the ID. So it will be underscore ID. It's equal to ID. That should be okay. I did not forget anything. This was correct. Same idea here. You can just check if deleted item dot. As you can see, I have one property which is called delete count. If delete count is more than 0, that means the item is being deleted successfully. If not, it's most probably user error. 400. And voila, item not found. Like that. And we were able to do everything for update item as well, which is very similar to product. That should be okay. Now we just need to do the payment now. The payment is a little bit annoying because for the payment, we need also to construct the pass as we will need some value from the .env. And remember, I am inside controller, so .env and controller, this item here, payment, they are not in the same folder. So I need to construct the path somehow. So maybe it would be a good idea to go here and maybe just copy all of that just to save some time. Can go to the payment now. Paste this one like that. I don't need that. I need the path like that. And now here, what I need to do really, I need to I still import a few stuff. So I'm importing this one. Now I need to import .env. .env and .env, and I need to import Stripe. Import Stripe is a class Stripe from Stripe like that. I'm constructing the path. Now I need to load the environment variable. So how can I load the environment variable? It should be simple actually. Config here path, I'm saying path.join. I'm taking the path, which path? Or should be to the current directory. Then I need to go out. And of course, to go out, that's not a good way. I need to say dot, 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 like that. That's me go out. And then I want you to find this dot env. And that should be good. So because the path here, it's a path to this directory, but I'm saying here, I want you to go dot, dot, go out. And then if you go out, you'll find dot env. And that's what's happening actually. Okay, now here I need to initialize Stripe. Again, the Stripe here, it's you need to go to the documentation. If you go to the documentation, it will show you how to do it. But for now, I'm just going to do it directly. So I can just say const Stripe, it's equal to. So I'm creating a new object from Stripe class, new Stripe, and I need to pass process.env.stripe secret key. I don't know if I name it Stripe secret key, which is this one. Voila. This one you will get it from the website, as you know. So what I need to do, click key. Voila. And now here, this Stripe here, it's an object with a lot of function, and I can now use this Stripe to make a payment. Okay. So first I need to construct the path. I need to import Stripe. Stripe is a class. And because it's a class, I can create a new instance from the class, new Stripe. I need to pass process.env.stripe secret key. This one will return me an object. And of course, this object, it has a lot of property. Now it will allow me to make the payment here. And let's try to make the payment here. So now here, I'm trying to make a payment, of course. But before I make the payment here, I need the amount. Because when I'm making the payment, I will need the amount actually. Const amount ID. I don't want the ID, I just want the amount here. Voila. And yeah, that's simple like that. Then I will need a triangle, of course. As usual, if there is an error, we can send error. We can send just different status here. So we can just say, no, yeah, I don't want log. If something go wrong for some reason, let's just say internal server error for now. Yeah, something does not go wrong. So what I need to do now, I can just make a payment instant. But how can I make a payment instant? Well, I can just declare a variable, const payment. Let's just name it payment intent or just payment. Do I have a variable payment here? No, I don't have any variable called payment. So I can just say payment now, it's equal to await. Stripe, this is my object, remember. Dot payment, as you can see here, this object, it has now a lot of method. So here now I can use payment intent. A payment intent, and then I dot create. Well, again, this is from the documentation. And now here I need to pass a few stuff. I need to pass the amount. I need to pass, yeah, but I don't want to pass the card here. I need to pass the currency here, US dollar, or you can make it euro, whatever you want to, and the amount here. The problem here is the amount here is in cent. What do I want the amount to be in cent or something else? So this amount here, it will be in cent. Do I want it in cent?
No.
Or do I want it to be in dollar? So I can just take the amount and multiply it by 100 and problem solved. Voila. Simply like that. Okay, now if everything is okay now, I can now just say restore send status 200. And I'm just saying it was successful. And now here I need to pass something to the front end, which should be client secret. And client secret here are needed in the front end. So it will be payment.client, which is this one, payment.client secret. So if I hover over the payment here, it's as you can see, this payment here, it will be object as well. And it has one property, which is called client secret. And that should be, for now, should be fine. So let me go to Stripe now. Let me show you just how it's being done. So I'm going to copy this Stripe. And Okay. What I need to do is Stripe npm. If I go to Stripe npm, of course, it's a library, as you know. I'll show you how to install it, how to import it. And then what's important here is not all of that's important for me. Yeah, so stripe.payment intent, as you can see, payment intent.create. And create here, I need to pass some value. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So you can just read the documentation and you'll see how it's being implemented. That's one. Or maybe you can Google how to use Stripe. How to use Stripe. I think I've shared with you something. Stripe in Express server. Yeah. I mean, you can go here and this guy will show you as well. That's not nice. Let's go quickly. So Stripe secret key, which I will need it. Now here we are creating an instance of Stripe. Yes. Check out. As you can see, Stripe here is equal to stripe.token locate. I don't want this one. Well, anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm just using it in this way. But we get it from the documentation. So what simply I am doing here first, I am importing Stripe here. Remember, Stripe is a class, and because it's a class, I can create an instance from the class, and that's my Stripe here, lowercase. So Stripe is equal to new Stripe, and here I need to pass the Stripe secret key. How can I access it? Well, process.env.stripe secret key. Now, when I have this one here, the user, I will send to /payment, I will send the amount. The amount, it will be in cent, of course. That's how it is in Stripe. So what I can say, I can just say const payment is equal to await stripe.payment intent. So I'm trying to create a payment or do the payment dot create, and it will take two parameters. The first parameter here, it will be the amount, and the amount here, it will be in cent. That's the reason why I multiplied by 100. Second one, it will be as a currency. It could be anything you want. You can check them, but here I've just choose USD. So just use US dollar. So if this one is successful, it will send back to the client what we called payment client secret, which for now we don't need it. We will need it later on the front end. Any question here? Any question? Question? Yes, no? Hello?
So this is all for the payment in backend, and the
Yes.
rest will be in the front end?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's everything in the backend here. Of course, I am not done. Can anyone tell me what should I do now? I still have a few stuff I didn't do. Should I allow any user to add a product or not?
No, verify token.
No.
Check
Verify
user?
token. Check user, of course. Only, I told you, only the user which has rule admin can add product. So what I need to do here, I need to import this guy as well. So I can just say import check user. It will be from /middleware check user. I think it's correct. And now here, of course, it will be a middleware. Now what I need to do here, to get all the products here, I don't think we will need it anyway, but let's just keep it this way. Oh no, actually, get all product, I don't need that here. The get's fine, I will allow him. But what I will not allow him is to create item, update item, or delete item. I'll not allow him anyway. So it will check. After that, it will check if the user is admin, it will allow him. If the user is not admin, it will not allow him. Anyone can get the product or any product, but to add, update, delete, only need to be admin. For the as here for the item, also the user cannot add an item if he's not logged in. So what do I need to do here? Import. Yes.
Verify token.
Verify token. It should be verify token. Yes. On verify token, I will allow the people to get item by ID. Now here it must be logged in. Actually, all of them need to be logged in because this is a basket here. So if the user is not logged in, I should not show him anything here. So even the get need to be, the user need to be logged in totally. Voila. Problem fixed. So now I am protecting everything. I'm protecting my product. I am protecting, even if I want to, I can protect the payment here if I want to make sure that the user is logged in. So yeah, why not? Let's go to the item here and let's import verify token. And here I can just verify token. Before the user be able to make a payment, we need to make sure that this user is logged in. Well, of course it will be logged in, but anyway. Now I'm protecting all my routes. Everything is fine. Now what I need to do, let's run my server to see if there's any error. Remember, I deleted my database. So what I need to do here, I need to just say, I have the node module, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, now npm run dev. I don't know if it will work or not. So it looks like I have a problem. I don't know what's the problem. Let's see. Cannot find module. Logger. Okay, why cannot find logger? I'm not sure. Let's see. Import from /middleware logger.js.
It was middlewares. I'm not sure in index.
That's middleware.
Here, middlewares.
Yeah, because it's wrong. And now it's fixed. And now I'm connected to database successfully. So now I go to my database and here I refresh. And as you can see, I have my Amazon here. I have item. Of course, I have nothing inside them. But what I can do, I can just go to recipes. I can steal one user here. Copy this one. And now here I can go to Amazon. Here I can add new data. And I can delete this guy. Remember, I don't need to add the ID. MongoDB will create it automatically. Email unneeded, password unneeded. I need username as well. So what I can do, I can just say username. The property was username, if I'm not mistaken, right? So let's just name it, 00, whatever. Now here I need to add rule as well, right? What is a rule? Well, either it will be admin or user, right? I'll choose admin. Click, and here. I still forgot something, of course, which is the date created and date's been updated. So what I can do, maybe, I'm not sure if I have a user with maybe hotel. Yeah, this one is much better. Why? Because it has created it and this also has username and everything. So I can copy it and go here, and now I can delete this user for now. add, voila. Get rid of this one, just paste this one. I don't need the ID. I don't need all of those. But now what I want also, I want something else, which will be rule. What's the rule we said? It's admin. That should be much better actually. I'm gonna copy those. Insert. That should be fine. And here, let's try to add a new user. Voila. So I will just say Jack. I'll keep this one the same. Jack. The admin, I don't want to be admin, I want to be normal user. Oh, voila. Now, so I have 2 users for now. And now what I can do after that, I can try to check stuff here. So let's try to go and test our stuff. What should we test first? Yeah, what should we test?
User.
So what should we do? We should test register. And clicky. So it's API/register here. It will be post, of course. And here is the user. What different data do I need? Well, I need email, of course. Let's just name it test at gmail.com. I need password, right? Password. User 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation mark. I need repassword, right? Repassword. It should be basically the same here. I need, what the hell's going on? Yeah, because I need to add something. I need rule. And if I don't add the rule by default, it will be user. So let me just remove the rule for now. Email password, rule password. What else do I need?
Username.
Yeah. Username. But what the hell? Why this one is like that?
Colon. You don't have colon.
Beautify it. Now let's try to register this user. And as you can see, user created successfully, blah, blah, blah. The rule is user and everything is being created. And now if I go to my database, refresh this one. And as you can see, I have a new user, as you can see, which is nice. Okay. I've registered the user. Now let me log in. So I will need an email and password like that. I don't want to log in as a normal user. I want to log in as admin because I will try to add product and stuff like that. So maybe I can use some. Well, should be good. And let's try to log in. Click. And as you can see here, it's my ID. I got my SAM00. Login successfully. So login is fine. And log out, I'm quite sure it will be fine. I can test it as the end. That's fine. Let's try to add a product. And of course, here, I'm gonna go to product. I will need this stuff here. Title, description, category, price, image. So let me get rid of this one. The first one was title, right? Second one was description. Third one was title, description, category. price image. Makes the price 23. Image. Voila. Of course, I need to add values. That's not gonna work. So let's search for any product we want to. iPhone 14. Click on this one, for example. Yes, whatever. So the product, it will be iPhone. Okay. The description. Oh, shit. Category. Electronic, or something like that. Send. User does not exist. Yeah, because simply it's not the login. Should we? Go, that's right. Now let's try all fields are required. So I need title, description, category, price, and image. Do I have any other field? Title, description, category, price, image. Yes. I think maybe I misspelled one of them. Description is not correct. Category is correct, price is correct, image is correct. So let's try again. And as you can see, it's been added successfully. Okay. Of course, I can update it and also I can delete it. That's fine. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to log out. Log out successfully. Now I'm trying to log in with another user. Why? Because this user will be normal user. Log in. I'm just going to keep it here. So I don't have to do all of that. The other user, it will be email and password. And password should be user 1234 exclamation mark. And I think the email was Jack.
Yes, Jack or test.
Okay, fine, Jack or test. That won't work. Let's try to log in. Well, I log in successfully. Now what I need to do here, now I need to add a product. Remember, Jack is just a user, a normal user, huh? Products. And now here I can just go copy this one. Control X. Try to log in. Let's see, iPhone 9, 10. And let's try to post this one. Click. Forbidden, you are not an admin, as you can see. You cannot just do that because you are not an admin. And as you can see, simply like that, I mean, an admin now can add a different product and so on. As for the item, any user can add item, but she must be logged in. Because if you are not logged in, you cannot add stuff to your backend. Yeah, that should be enough. Everything is working. As you can see, my log here is nicely organized with different color. And now if I go to my log, see, it's been registered here. Why? Because now I am in the development. Simply like that, yeah.
And can we test in Postman the items?
Well, yes, why not? Any normal user can add items, so let's just add items. Items, what do we have for items? Title, description, category, price. I think we have quantity. We'll need user ID here. This 3. Must be common. I don't think we need an image, if I'm not mistaken. But you need user underscore ID. Well, I'm not gonna change anything here. Title, description, category, price. So title, description, category, price, quantity, user ID. Now I need. So it depends which user I'm logged in now. It was which user was?
Jack.
So I need his ID. So what I can do here, you can just copy his ID. And voila, simply like that. Voila. Products item should be click. And as you can see, the item is being added here. The user ID is here, underscore ID is here. And now here, if I go to item, it's been added, product is being added. And well, everything is okay. I think that should be enough for today. I've talked too much. I've repeat everything in the backend from 0, just like a start, like that. I'm not gonna repeat it again. I just repeat it one time to make sure that you understand everything.